Got him. Come back to Seamer, and nothing Nolan Shawnewill can do with it. First strikeout of 2026 for Michael King. Pitch number 6 in the at-bat.
Wednesday. Welcome to the program. Chris Ello from Boise, Idaho, and Matt Scraby holding down the fort in San Diego. Padre baseball today taking on the Angels, and they're at Peoria today. Michael King, as you heard there, making the start today, and 2 2/3 innings. That's actually is a pretty long outing for your first outing of spring training. I know that doesn't sound like much, but he got 8 outs. He struck out 4 of those 8. So, nothing wrong with that. He did give up a solo home run in the 3rd inning, but had retired the first 6 hitters prior to that. So I'd say all in all, a good day for Michael King. And the Padres have actually come back in this game now and are leading 4-2 over the Halos. And guess who had the big hit, Mr. Scraby?
Would it be one Ty France?
Well, it is Aztec baseball world right now, so yes. Absolutely it was Ty France. Had a 2-run single, and that capped the 4-run inning. And, of course, if you hadn't heard by now, I'm certainly going to crow about it, and I don't blame Tony if he's crowing about it. And, look, you don't get to beat the number 1 team in the nation very often, but San Diego State baseball – last night up in Westwood, knocking off UCLA 4-3. So what a great start to the career for Kevin Vance. And look, I mean, the team is, they're not national championship contenders yet. They're 5-3, which is a pretty good record to start the season. But win over UCLA, I mean, that's just, you can't really. Yeah, it really is. And I don't want to exclude the kids up at UCSD, because they beat UCLA also the first weekend of the season. UCSD went up there, played a 3-game series. They lost the first 2, but they also beat UCLA in the final game of that series. So don't want to leave the Tritons out of this, but for a new program and knowing, the kind of commitment that Steven Strasburg is putting forth with this Aztec baseball team, he's got to be just ecstatic to see this kind of progress. I mean, a win over a number 1 team in the country, that's huge for a program that's trying to get turned around. So congrats to all those kids. They must have felt great last night. And I know I did. When I saw the result came in, I was on a little bit of a, felt a little bit of a good feeling there for a while.
Well, you should.
Sports can still do that for you. Yeah, so good for them. We got, our usual thing today. Manny Machado was on with Ben and Woods today.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear that. I think we're going to hear that interview pretty much in its entirety later on.
Correct.
We don't get to talk to Manny, any of us, very often.
Well, that's not true. You don't get to, because for some reason our Manny interviews always line up with your vacation.
I think Manny checks with my wife to find out when we're going on vacation so that he can then schedule an interview with you guys. I think you're right. That's happened 2 or 3 times. But Manny was on. Was Fernando also on today?
He was also on today, and I believe at some point I'm going to be playing something from that for sure.
All right, so we'll hear from both of the Padres star players today on the program. And, of course, Tony's doing his broadcast. He'll be back. They're in the top of the 7th inning right now in Peoria. So hopefully we'll be talking with Mr. Gwynn in just a little while. I did note, Scrape, today that ESPN, and, I always take all of these rankings with a bit of a grain of salt, but I do think – oftentimes, these kind of little rankings that they put together just give me a little idea, right, where things sit, all right?
Okay.
And I think, look, if somebody were to ask you right now, what is your biggest concern for the Padres coming into the season? And what I mean is biggest area of concern. So is it the starting rotation?
No.
Is it the bullpen?
No.
Certainly not the bullpen, right? Nobody's going to say the bullpen is a concern. How about the everyday lineup? Is that good enough for you? Or is that a concern?
That's not a concern, no.
Well, then what is?
The catcher
The manager?
position. The catcher position.
Just catcher.
That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing, is that they don't have good enough catchers.
What do you need at catcher? There's only a couple of Will Smiths in the league.
That's what I've said on the Scraby Show before, and I think Freddie Fermin is going to do just fine. He doesn't need to be a 300 hitter with 30 home runs. He just needs to have some timely hits and get on base.
Not every player on your team has to hit 30 home runs and drive in 100 runs. Although I will be willing to admit that if your team, and in this case the Padres, if every guy in the team hits 30 home runs and drives in 100, we're going to win a lot of games. Yeah, I'm willing to say that. Who's the Toronto Blue Jays catcher, by the way? They were in the World Series last year.
I know him. He's from Tijuana. Why can I remember his name right now?
Because he's not a household name.
He is.
That's
Alejandro Kirk.
Okay. Fine.
I gotcha.
The Padres are a little weak, apparently, at catcher. But here's the thing. I think in general, the biggest concern would be the lineup. Are they going to score enough runs? After all, look what happened in the playoff last year, right?
Yeah.
They went to Wrigley Field. They could not score. Look what happened in the final 2 games against the Dodgers the year before. We don't want to look at it, but we all remember it was 24 scoreless innings, right? Didn't do anything and lost the series. So is the lineup going to be good enough, to allow them to compete? Well, ESPN thinks so. And I think that's, look, it's our guy, Bradford Doolittle.
I was going to say, it's kind of a shocker because ESPN hates the Padres.
Usually Bradford is pretty low on the Padres. Here's his rankings of the top 10 lineups in all of baseball. And he goes through all kinds of little, reasons for this and reasons for that. I'll let you read the article if you want to find out all of that. Number 1, not a surprise, going to be the Dodgers. Number 2, a tiny surprise, but the Atlanta Braves, and I think they're counting on a healthy Acuna for that. Number 3, the Mets. Talk about the Mets a little bit later. They got a lot of big names on there, but are they going to be able to gel? A lot of newcomers there. The Mariners have the number 4 lineup. They were a game away from the World Series last year. Toronto has the number 5 lineup. They were in the World Series last year. This is a little surprising to me. How about the Oakland A's, number 6?
They do have some pretty good Nick Kurtz, and they have Brent Rooker, and they got
Jacob
some guys.
Wilson.
Yeah, they got some guys that can hit.
They can hit. They can't pitch. The Chicago Cubs are number 7. The Yankees are 8. The Phillies are 9. And I think everybody thinks the Phillies have one of the better lineups every year. And then number 10, the Padres.
Wow.
And,
top 10.
I was expecting to scroll way down near the bottom, into the 20s at least.
Really?
Before I got to the Padres.
You got to think that Manny and Fernando alone put them in the top 20.
Okay, but that's it. I don't think that a lot of people outside San Diego, and maybe even people in San Diego, if you take away Manny, Fernando, and to a big extent Jackson Merrill, if you take away those 3 guys, there is not one sure thing in the Padre lineup. And I think that's in the minds of most people.
I'm trying to think.
Bogart,
Xander's not a sure thing for sure.
Xander, and he hasn't been a sure thing since he got here. Jake, nobody loves the guy more than I do, but he's not a sure thing anymore. It hasn't been for a couple of years. Ramon Laureano was great last year, but we talked about this yesterday. Can he duplicate a career season? That's still a question. Gavin Sheets, you have a similar question about him. Miguel Andujar or Nick Castellanos. There's potential, certainly, but again, we have to wait and see. And then you already talked about Freddie Fermin. So I was surprised that they got that high of a ranking, but they did. So
10 is higher than I would have said. They were 14th, just inside the top half.
You would have put them right in the middle.
Yeah.
Here's where I always have, Brandon Doolittle's got to upset me at some point.
Well, does the sun come up in the morning?
Here is his inside grades. Hitting for this lineup, A+. They're A+ hitters.
Wow.
Their patience at the plate, F. Really?
I thought they were more patient last year than ever before.
I thought they were almost too patient last year. Fernando walked about 90 times last year.
He did. He walked a ton.
Power, C-. I'll give you that. We don't have great power. Base running, D+.
Oh, Chris, you love this grade.
Well, I don't love this grade because Ha-Seong Kim is no longer here, and it should go a lot higher. I think that they're better base runners than that in general.
What is he judging the base running on? Getting caught stealing?
I think just, taking the extra base, first to third, that kind of thing. I think D+ is unfair unless Ha-Seong Kim was back on the team. Durability, B+, depth, B-, et cetera, et cetera. So,
all right.
Anyway.
I'll take it, though.
I will take this. The Padres, if they have the 10th best hitting in baseball this year, they're going to have an amazing year. Look at where they finished last year in hitting, Scraby. 28th, 26th, 24th.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When it comes to on-base, slugging, power, they didn't have those. They weren't good. And ultimately, that's what cost them. So, if the lineup can be a top 10 hitting team, and that's what the ESPN's saying, the pitching and the bullpen ought to give us a great season. All right, something to consider. We're underway for a Wednesday. Gwynn and Chris coming at you. We'll hear from some of the Ben and Woods interviews today, some of the superstars of the Padres were on our airs today. Maybe you missed it. Well, you're not going to miss it now. It's coming your way as Gwynn and Chris get started on a Wednesday, 97.3 The Fan.
That first year in your new home.
All right, Gwynn and Chris rolling here on a Wednesday. 2:17 is the time. How's the weather there, Scrape? I'm far away in rainy Idaho today. Is it still like clicking over the 80 mark in San Diego?
Yes, and I did not wear a shirt that I want everybody to see because I spilled on it earlier, so I'm stuck in a sweatshirt. Well, now that I'm in the studio, it's fine, but it's been hot today, Chris.
Yeah, it's. I played golf the other day, and I mean, by the second hole, we were just like burning up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this late February or what?
Yes, it is.
But you know what? You know what? I got an idea for all of you here who don't like it in San Diego. Move. Go move. Go ahead. Go with all the people in Tennessee and all the people here in Idaho. There's a lot of people up here. They come to Boise, Idaho. They think this is the end all.
Okay. Not for me. Not for me.
No, me neither. I'm not going anywhere. And apparently not everybody in San Diego is going anywhere either because we all sit in the same traffic. So there must still be some people left in town.
There's plenty of people left in town.
Yeah,
Plenty of terrible drivers, too. Terrible drivers.
And I was talking to a friend of mine from Idaho today up here, and they said, we have now some of the worst drivers, and they're all the people with California plates.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So they hate our drivers even up here.
Yeah,
they blame us for everything.
Tell them I'm with them. I stand with Boise on that.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, I got to add one more thing before we get to the cuts of Manny or Fernando on the show this morning. This blew me away, Scrape, and you're going to like it.
Okay.
I'm sitting at breakfast this morning with the girls, the team, basketball team. We're in the hotel. Everybody's in the round tables. Our trainer, athletic trainer, Queenie, says, hey, Chris, somebody wants to say hi to you. I'm like, who could this be? I'm in Boise, Idaho.
Seriously.
I'm at a hotel. This nice guy named Dustin walks up and goes, oh, my God, I am so excited to meet you. I love the show. I love Scraby. I love Tony. I've been listening to this thing for 6 years.
Wow.
And now I live up in Boise, Idaho, and I listen every day that I can on the internet or watch on the YouTube. I missed you guys, but, thankfully I don't have to miss you because I can see the show. So I told Dustin, I said, man, you just made my day.
Seriously, that's awesome.
I mean, you talk about out of left field. So that was great. Thank you, Dustin, for those kind words.
Yeah, and like I remember when I first, wanted to get into radio, I would have loved to be able to have my show nationwide. I couldn't get my show unless it was over the airwaves in San Diego. That's awesome.
Well, I thought of it a little differently than when you did. I thought of when I was listening to sports talk radio growing up, I would have thought it would have been great to get to meet one of these people.
Oh, yeah, of course, that too.
Whoever got to meet any of these,
no one.
guys you listen to on the radio. So it was cool.
Yeah.
And I must say, this is a selfish comment for me, but I thought it was kind of cool that he was pretty loud about it. So all the girls had to kind of notice that, you know what, Chris is kind of a big deal.
Do they think you're a dork?
I don't know what they think, but at least for today, the kids on the team had to go, wow, he must be somebody.
You got some cred.
Yeah, I got a little cred, right, with the team today. So
very nice.
Thank you, Dustin. That was really, really nice of you. And I hope he's out there watching today. All right, let's get to the clips this morning. Fernando on with Ben and Woods. I will also tell you that if we're only going to play a clip or two here, if you want to hear the entire Fernando interview, you can always go back, 973thefansd.com, and listen to the Ben and Woods this morning. But we invite you to not do that till our show is over.
Yes, correct.
We don't want to lose any of our ratings.
Yes.
Fernando, I thought this was a good question. I'm curious to hear what he says. But Ben and Woods asked him about, not hitting leadoff, hitting next to Manny in the lineup, and what his thoughts are on that.
I definitely agree that, because just hitting behind each other, it doesn't matter which order. I feel like we definitely make something happen, and just giving those pitchers back-to-back feeling of the same guy, is just better for us in that standpoint. Just by watching the pitchers, seeing what they're doing, how they're attacking us, and in that moment, there's 2 against 1, in the same area. So let's see how our manager constructed. But I feel like we're in a good spot right now.
I'm going to take a shot at my own favorite player, Luis Arise here, Scraby.
Oh, no.
The way the lineup was constructed last year, if you are a pitcher, and I'm trying to get into the head of a pitcher, and I'm trying to actually get into the head of a guy coming in the 7th inning with bases loaded or 2 men on in a big situation, and Fernando's up. And then I look on deck, and I got Luis Arise. It seems a little easier in my mind to get Fernando out or not give him too much to hit because I got Arise next, and then I got Manny.
Yeah.
Then I'm back in the soup. But if they put them back to back, that's what Fernando's saying right there. He goes, it's like it'd be 2 against 1. If you come in and there's runners on base, you might get me out, but you got to also get Manny out. So I like that thinking.
I do too. They did something different in the lineup today where they had Manny at number 2 instead of being at the 3 spot. They've had Bogarts in the leadoff spot the last couple games, and then Fernando's been in the cleanup spot the entire time. So unless something changes, I would assume that we're seeing that Fernando's going to bat elsewhere than the leadoff spot, at least to start.
I think that's a given. No, that's a given. He's not batting leadoff this year. I think that's a given, even at this early stage of spring training. All right, let's go to the really the guy who was the MVP of the Padres last year, and that's Nick Pivetta. Pivetta, they haven't named the opening day starter. I think he deserves it. It's not that big of a deal, but I think he's kind of earned that with the way he pitched last year. Ben and Woods asked Nick Pivetta today what changes he wants to make so that he can be even better this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think I always want to change and I always want to adapt. I'll say this quite part out loud. There's 5 other guys that were better than me last year, and I want to be better than those guys. So what are the small adjustments that I need to make? What were the small things I need to do in the weight room, pitch mix, mechanically, velo? All of those things are kind of small factors. And then what 5 games could I have done better things, and how can I improve on those things and be a better pitcher?
When he's talking about 5 guys that were better than him last year, he's talking about the likes of Tariq Skubal. He's talking about the likes of Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Right? He's not talking about too many guys that were better than Nick Pivetta last year.
Was he talking about the Cy Young voting maybe? Like he finished
yes,
6th?
Maybe that would. Okay, that might be what he's referring to. But again, those are the kind of names you're looking at, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Skeens was ahead of him. Who else? All right, let's look at that. Who was ahead of him in the Cy Young?
Oh, he was
balloting?
6th. So let me go click on it real quick. And it was Paul Skeens, Christopher Sanchez, Yamamoto, Logan Webb, Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, it's pretty good company to be in. And as good as Pivetta pitched last year, I don't know that I have an argument with any of those 5 names. They all had great seasons.
They did.
Nothing wrong with Pivetta. To me, I like his thinking. If he's just in that group again this year, it's going to be great for the Padres. One more thing about Nick Pivetta I wish he would have said there. I feel I'm going to be a little bit more ornery and challenging on the mound.
Oh, I don't know if that can happen.
No, I don't think so either. But isn't that fun to watch?
I've said this before.
I imagine there's some Dodger fans out there who think, Pivetta, put a lid on it.
Of course.
All right, fine. You can think that. But I want to believe that my guy is out there busting it and doing it all for my team and, wears his heart on his sleeve a little. I don't have an issue with Nick Pivetta.
My favorite baseball players are pitchers that have a talk with themselves in between pitches, that are having a serious talk with themselves, because I love it when he gives himself a pep talk. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can take you back to Mark the Bird Fidrich.
Oh, yeah. You've told me about the Bird.
Well, he invented talking to himself between pitches.
But he was he literally talking to himself.
He would not only talk to himself, Scraby, he would talk to the ball.
Oh.
And he would tell the ball to go run to the outside corner and sink.
Wow.
The Bird was crazy, but he was crazy like a fox because
it worked, I guess.
He had one incredible year, and then it kind of blew up the arm injuries. But for a time there, Mark Bird Fidrich was the biggest thing going in baseball. All right, one last quote. Joe Musgrove. We always got to hear from Joe. right?
Yes.
No matter what's going on in the world of the Padres, I always feel a little more content when I hear from Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Joe. How's he feel this year compared to, obviously, he didn't feel so good this time last year?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm back in my comfort zone. You know, I'm always been a good worker. I enjoy being on the field and putting the work in. So it was hard last year to shift all of my focus to more of like the coaching, advisor type mindset and just try to be there, to share experiences and help some of the guys out, which I did enjoy. But there's nothing like being on the field and being able to compete and do something physically. So a little bit different this spring.
Is Joe Musgrove guaranteed to be a pitching coach when he's done? What do you think?
I definitely think he's guaranteed for some sort of baseball coaching. If not, I don't know if he wants to do this, but he could be a manager one day.
Yeah, he may absolutely not want to do it. He may want to go into private business and sell, trade stocks for all I know.
Become a lawyer or something.
Yeah, but it just seems like Joe Musgrove is just a perfect fit for being somebody's pitching coach someday. And I hope it's the Padres pitching coach someday. If we ever have to part with Ruben Niebla, Musgrove seems like he'd just have a perfect temperament for that.
He does.
And he understands it. You know what I mean? He gets it. He knows what goes on to all of it. And because there isn't a player out there that understands their own body, their own, chemistry and mechanics better than Musgrove does.
He really does. He's locked in for sure.
I like Joe Musgrove.
Of course.
Does anybody not like Joe Musgrove? Do you think Dodger fans even can say, "Hey, Musgrove's okay"?
In my view,
how there's a
you can't.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. I don't know.
Maybe Mets fans hate him for that Mets wild card game.
You're right,
but that's a good reason
yeah.
for Joe Musgrove to be hated.
Yeah, he doesn't mind being hated by the Mets fans.
Yeah,
after what he did to them that night.
Yeah, Buck Showalter still wearing that.
Because it's kind of like, I know this, I shouldn't admit this, but like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, I hate to say, those guys don't bother me. There's plenty of Dodgers who do.
Yeah, I think.
But there's some individual guys that I'm okay with. Tommy Edman's another one. I love Tommy Edman. He's a San Diego guy. I love the way he plays. I wish he didn't play so well against us, but hey.
I wonder if it's because they spent most of their career elsewhere before they came to the Dodgers. Like Mookie was with the Red Sox and Freddie was with the Braves. So the hatred didn't come about because he wasn't in a Dodgers uniform for a long time.
Yeah, Will Smith has been a Dodger the whole time, so I've had plenty of time to work up a lot of dislike.
Yes.
Good point.
Yes.
By the way, the name Romeo Sanabria, not a day goes by without this guy driving in a run. He just did it again. His 6th of the spring. Padres lead the Angels 5-3 in the 8th inning. Gwynn and Chris, we're going to do something different today, are we not, Scrape?
We are.
Tell everybody what's coming up.
Coming up next, because Chris is going to be leaving a little bit early, we're going to have an early edition of Chris First the Fan. So 833-288-0973. Call right now and get in line. And we'll do that next, apparently.
The biggest guests in
All right, back at you here, Gwynn and Chris, 2:36, middle of the week, Wednesday program. A couple of quick things here before we get to a special edition of Chris versus the fans. Number one, Scraby's fit to be tied on all the people that are calling in and then seemingly hanging up. Stop doing that.
Stop repeating what I just said. Why is everybody hanging up?
Well, I'm telling him to stop hanging up.
Please stop.
If you want to play, get in line and play. 833-288-0973. Secondly, Scraby, both of us informed. Apparently, there's some sort of technical issues with the YouTube
chat
feed today.
Yeah,
and that is not on us.
No.
We have no control over that.
Apparently,
so
YouTube
for those who
is broken.
Right. If you like to watch on the YouTube, you may have to go back to the old way and listen for a while, and hopefully they'll get that fixed up. Padres lead the Angels 7-3 spring training, top of the ninth inning. Big stories today. Michael King, 2 2/3 innings, allowed just 2 hits, struck out 4 of the 8 outs he recorded were by way of the K. Another RBI for Romeo Sanabria. Nick Castellanos had a bases-loaded walk, but it's still an RBI.
Yep.
And Ty France came through with a big 2-run single, as does Matt McCoy. So Padres – sorry?
Mason McCoy.
Mason McCoy. Who is Matt McCoy? There's a Matt McCoy somewhere, and I get him. I don't know what it is.
It does sound
One
familiar.
of these days, you people will be like old like me, and you'll mix up names like I do. 7-3, Mason McCoy. Thank you. 2-run double for Mason. So I'm going to get that accurate. Jackson Merrill hit a double today. All right. 7-3 Padre. Are we ready for the game? Or do you want me to give some people a time?
No, I think we're ready for the game. Let me tell you what you're playing for, and that will be a qualification for a chance to win a weekly grand prize, a pair of tickets to Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. We got some contestants. We'll go right into it.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, the rules. If you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong and you move on to the next question, or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. All right.
I kind of like playing at a different time once in a while, Scrape.
Me too.
Give some other people an opportunity, hopefully, to get in on this game.
Apparently, they've never been on hold before because everybody just keeps hanging up and calling back.
See, now you're telling on yourself.
Well, now I am angry because literally I put someone on hold, someone else drops.
By the way, before I'm going to give people some more time to drop off. How about Adam Klug telling you today that his 12-year-old son was heartbroken that we didn't have the Fantabulous Sports Game Show yesterday,
and that broke my heart.
His 12-year-old son loves to play the game and yell out answers from the back seat.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's 12, so I won't go. But he's at least 10 or 11, or he's at least 10.
He's younger than 12 even.
Well, he's a huge fan, apparently, of the Fantabulous Sports Game Show, and he was upset that we didn't have it, and Adam texted me that, and I was sad, because that makes me sad that he really wanted it. So we're going to have to get that topic in here soon, Chris.
Well, number one. Number two, I mean, if you're telling me that the kid is so good, maybe we can have Tony face him instead of just beating up on you all the time.
Wait, you're going to have him face Tony?
Yeah. Since you're not much of a threat.
You know what? I could never live down having Ethan beat Tony on his first time. I could never live it down. It would never go away.
I know. Well, that would be fun. All right. Yes,
here we go.
Let's get to the Chris versus the fans. Here we go.
We'll go with let's see. We'll go with Dylan first. Hello, Dylan.
Hello.
What up?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you ready to play?
Do it.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Dylan, here we go.
First question. Where did Ben Roethlisberger play college football?
I'm not the biggest Roethlisberger fan, so I'm going to guess. Illinois?
Oh, Illinois. It's unfortunate because we did talk about this last week, so I put it in there, but it was still a question. I don't know.
It's not an easy one.
Chris, do you determine
top.
if that's a number one question or not?
Well, it is today. This is how the game works. I'm sorry, Dylan. We've done this. No, I'm not knocking Dylan, but this is sometimes you get a really easy one. Sometimes you get a harder one. It's the luck of the draw. Miami, Ohio is the answer.
Yeah.
And I know that not a lot of people know that off the top of their head, but
I feel
such
bad.
is life, Dylan. It's okay. It's
bad.
a hang with them. It's a hang with them. You come back and play again. That's all. Then, look, life isn't fair.
It's not, but I try to make it fair.
The sooner you learn that out there, the better off you're going to be. Life that's not going to be fair.
That's a really unfortunate thing where he calls in and he has to guess Miami of Ohio, which the question was asked because we talked about it last week. Anyway,
you could have asked him like who batted 8th for the 1937 champion Milwaukee Braves or something, but you didn't.
Do you know who that is?
Well, first of all, I know that's wrong because in 1937 they were the Boston Braves. So. No, I don't know who it was.
Okay.
No.
All right, let's go to our next contestant, Ken. Hello, Ken.
Hey, Scrape. The phone keeps kicking me off, just so you know.
Okay, I figured.
See, it's the phone's fault, Scrappy, and you're blaming our listeners. Our good, wonderful listeners out there.
I appreciate you telling me that, Ken. There were a couple other listeners that I know can stay on hold, and they were getting booted off too. So maybe I should have waited before I, disparage the listeners. Thank you, Ken.
Have you ever heard the saying, Scraby, look before you leap?
I
have.
Heard that one? I've also heard think before you speak, and
okay.
I don't follow that too often.
Not too well, no.
All right, Ken, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Let's see. What was the last major Tiger Woods won?
Masters?
You are correct.
Got a 25% chance if you didn't know it, but yes, very good. Very good.
Masters
win there.
That was I still remember that. That was a great Sunday right there.
I thought the last major he won was yesterday for the Atlanta team in the stupid golf league, didn't he?
Well, he wasn't playing, so he wasn't playing.
God, that thing is stupid, and you make us watch it all the time.
You secretly love it. You secretly love it.
I really don't.
All right, Ken, here we go. Question number 2. What country won the first Women's World Cup in 1991?
Me.
I'm going to pass.
Oh, a pass? Christopher.
Yeah. I should have a better than average chance of getting this because I did some work for the Women's Pro Soccer League back in that era, but it was closer to the end of the decade when the U.S. won in 1999. China was good, and I think there was somebody else in there. I'm going to say China. Don't know.
Very nice for you, Ken. It was USA.
Oh, they won the first one?
But it was held in China.
Oh, why did they make such a big deal out of winning in 99 then?
Is it because of Brandi Chastain?
I don't know. She took her
jersey off, and everybody is always talking about that instead.
Well, I didn't know they had won the previous one. Sorry about that, U.S. women's soccer.
Oh, don't worry.
All right, good for you, Ken. You're on to the finals.
Wait, why did Ken hung up?
No, he thought he had won. He probably
or
dropped
maybe he
him
got
off.
kicked off.
No.
I don't know why this happens to us, Chris. We can't ever have nice things. I'm gonna wait for there's Ken. He's back. Oh my gosh! The phones are just being crazy.
Why is this happening all of a sudden?
I'm not sure. I really wish Ken would call back though. All right, we're gonna have to stall until I can see if Ken calls back because I don't want to give away his spot since he moved on. So give us a call back, Ken.
Coming up on the final question of the whole thing here. This is everything.
This
all
is
wrapped
every.
into one.
There he is. I'm gonna get him before he goes away. Ken, are you there?
Yeah, it's me.
All right.
All right, good.
I believe you.
Hurry up and ask the question, Scraby, before he leaves us again.
All right. If you want to complete the 7 summits, what sport is this?
Mountain climbing.
Mountain climbing is correct. Ken is the winner. Stay there, Ken. I'm going to get your information.
Are you kidding me? You're knocking me out of the tournament with mountain climbing questions now?
And he just went right for it, so Ken deserves to win if he gets the mountain climbing. Have you ever heard of the 7 summits before?
Of course not. How would I know that?
You've never heard of that? I've heard of that. They go and climb the 7 tallest mountains in the world.
I've never really kind of had a feel for mountain climbing. Don't really get it.
Not been your thing.
Not really been my thing. All right, Ken wins the Fantabulous Sports Game Show today. Good for you, Ken. If you can stay online long enough, Scraby will pick you up. Otherwise, get in touch with us. We want to make sure you get qualified for your prize. It gives us a minute to talk about the big controversy of the day, Scrabe.
What's that?
And I want to talk about it before Tony comes on.
Uh-oh.
And then if Tony does come on, I want to talk about it with him because I know he's going to have a completely different angle on this.
Okay.
Because he's a Laker fan and a LeBron homer. Did you see the end of the Laker game last night? Let me start with that.
No. I'm going to go look at it right now.
All right, go find it. What happened? Lakers are down 1. Final seconds. They inbound the ball to Luka. He's about 3 feet behind the three-point line, but he's wide open. And then for some reason, Luka hesitates and doesn't shoot.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Well, yeah, okay.
Okay, and then he's covered, so now he can't shoot.
Yeah.
So he has to throw it back to LeBron, who's also covered, and LeBron turns around and fires up an impossible shot, and he misses, and the Lakers lose.
Yeah.
Here's the controversy, and I know Tony is going to say, oh, no, this isn't right. According to the people who read lips on these things, as they showed Luka walking off the floor, Luka said, well, he told me, he begged me to pass him the ball, so I passed it to him.
Oh.
That was not said in the media. In the media, Luka said, well, I blew it. I should have just taken the shot, but I felt I was too far out, and then I got covered. It's my bad.
Yeah.
And then LeBron said, well, I thought he was open. I thought he was going to shoot it, and he didn't. And that's my take. So the question becomes: are people trying to make a federal case out of this, or did this really happen? Because I know Tony's angle. I know what he's going to say.
What is he going to say?
He's going to say it's a fugazi, total fugazi. But I've seen the shot of Luka walking off. And it really looks like he says, well, he wanted me to pass him the ball because Luka had this really frustrated look on his face. And the look on Luka's face was, hey, don't blame me. He begged for the ball. And because Luka, here's the evidence in favor of it. Luka would never pass an open shot. He just wouldn't. You've watched Luka play more than as much as I have. If he's open, he's shooting.
And he should shoot it.
But he should have shot it. But he starts to shoot, and then it's as if something caught his attention, and he stopped.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see it in the play. No, I totally. I don't know if Luka. I'm not a lip reader, so I'm not going to go there.
Yeah,
but LeBron threw him under the bus in the postgame when he said, I thought he had a pretty good look. So that's messed up. If indeed LeBron's saying, pass me the ball, and then he does get the ball, and then he puts it on Luka, that's crazy.
I mean, that could be a major controversy in Laker land. If Luka and LeBron, and apparently – I don't know that this is normal, but after the game, they were asked, hey, did you guys talk about this at all, in the last 10 minutes after the game? And no, they don't. Like, I would think LeBron would say, hey, what happened there? Or, or is everything cool? Or Luka would say, is everything cool? Or, Sorry for because Luka, if Luka just messed up as he said he did, then to be honest, Luka owes LeBron an apology, which is to say, sorry for giving you the ball in an impossible situation, because LeBron couldn't make the shot, right? He had a guy right on him.
He did
fall out of bounds and throw up a 30-footer. So Luka should apologize to LeBron. But the fact of the matter is, according to both of them, they didn't talk after the game. Why wouldn't they? I'm doing a little conspiracy here.
I get it. I get it.
But if you add in the clip of Luka seeming to mouth the words, well, he wanted the ball, so I gave it to him, that is a smoking gun right there, people.
I can't find that clip, though.
Yeah, well, keep looking. You'll find it somewhere. And again, who knows? It could be an AI clip. I don't know anymore. None of us know into this stuff anymore. 'Cause everything is, so crazy out there. But the one thing that I can't get past as a viewer of that play is that Luka was open. It was a clear shot to win the game. And Luka would always take that shot unless something happened.
I'm seeing a ton of reaction too, and it's pretty amazing that there's so many people split about this. But some people are saying that the issue isn't that Luka didn't take the shots, that LeBron threw him under the bus after the game. And I could see that being an issue because that's really bad. If indeed LeBron wanted the ball, Luka tries to get him the ball and then says, hey, that you got to ask Luka about that. That is messed up. You were completely throwing your teammate to the wolves right there. But what I also don't understand is there are so many Laker fans now that are so mad at LeBron and they do not want him on their team anymore. I've never did Michael Jordan get this amount of hate at the end of his career? Because LeBron just keeps getting more and more hate, it seems like.
Michael Jordan doesn't get that hate now. I mean, Michael Jordan has never gotten hate except for the odd people, the few, and I say odd, the people, the few, the proud that were critical of his gambling, and the few, the proud that were, Pistons fans or Knicks fans and Cavalier fans who couldn't stand the fact that they just couldn't beat him. But Jordan was pretty much more universally loved than LeBron.
Well, if you don't get to ask Tony that, I bet you I will ask Tony that.
Yeah. Tony's going to have a completely different take on it than I did, and that's kind of why I want to ask him.
So maybe we just hold it off until tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe if we can't talk about it today. But something made Luka not take that shot. What was it?
He definitely double clutched. He was like, I could shoot this, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. But you're talking about Luka. He always shoots it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that is interesting.
Could be craziness.
I always love a
Lakerland.
good conspiracy.
I know you do. We got some daily Gambit stuff coming up. Stick around, and Tony will be here soon, so don't go anywhere. All right, Gwynn and Chris continues here. Welcome back to it. 3:01 is the time. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. should be joining us soon. Padres knocked off the Halos today, 7-3 at spring training. Michael King started today, pitched pretty well. Got 8 outs, 4 of them by strikeouts. So good start for Michael King today, and the Padres get the win. Don't forget, we haven't even talked about this yet, but big game tonight at the Viejas, right? We got the Aztecs, You got Utah State. So, for some of you, because, I think they don't think of this, and I don't know who they is, but it's certainly not the Aztecs' fault. You cannot blame the Aztecs for this. But with CBS Sports, and tonight it's Fox Sports, making the game start at 8 p.m., and then always delaying it by 15 minutes because the first game runs over. And, you're asking people to stay out on a work night. People have kids that they'd like to bring to the game. I'm not trying to be soft here, Scrape. I'm trying to just think of everybody. You're asking people to stay till 10:30 for a game to end. And if you've ever tried to get out of the traffic at Viejas, it takes a while. So if you're going to the game tonight, great fans. I love you, but you're making the commitment basically to not get home till 11:30, something like that.
Why do you think the Padres moved their games up from 7:10 to 6:40? It made things easier on parents and other people.
And it's not the Aztecs' fault, so don't be writing them a letter. I mean, they got to play the game when TV tells them to play it, but those are tough, and it's too bad for such a big game like this, but it is what it is, and the Aztecs got to come through with a win. All right, Scraby, let's get into the Daily Gambit stuff because we got a lot to do on that.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Everybody gamble responsibly. But first, I would like to shout out because Ken was the winner of Chris vs. the Fans. He asked nicely. His son's in the car with him, but he asked us to shout out North City Youth Baseball. And congratulations on starting your season. Opening day is this Saturday in Claremont. So congratulations, Ken, on winning, and hope you have a good season for North City Youth Baseball.
Good luck to all those young people. And one more thing about Ken, thank you so much for playing. But make sure you heed my advice of, we did this.
What's going on?
Never mind. I'm having a brain cramp. No, I can't tell you.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you later.
All right.
I'm having a complete total brain cramp is what's happening.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm about? You know what I was going to say?
No, but we can move on from it.
Yeah, let's move on. It's nothing bad. Ken, congrats.
Yeah,
and good luck to your kids.
It wouldn't be a Gwynn and Chris shout out with some sort of confusion in
some
the
sort of confusion and controversy. Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to you and your son. All right, let's go into the bets we made last night. And I was watching this game on TV, Chris, and I kept looking up, and the margin of victory kept getting bigger for the Duke Blue Devils. They were 17.5-point favorites at Notre Dame. They won 100-56, and both of us chose Notre Dame. So
it was the worst. Just so we know, it was the worst home loss in Notre Dame basketball since 1898.
1898?
Yeah, I didn't even know how they kept records back then, but
yeah, seriously, there's some parchment somewhere with a tally. That's bad. We both picked Notre Dame. We were both wrong on that one. Miami of Ohio -8.5 at Eastern Michigan. Did they stay undefeated? Both of us went Miami. They won 74-64. So they stayed undefeated and they covered for us. They're 28-0 now. Wyoming at Boise State last night, -8.5 Boise State, favorites. Boise State, both of us chose them, and they won by 10, 72-62.
Boise State, you had a little trouble there.
Who did?
Spitting that out.
Boise?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Boise's fine. USC at UCLA. UCLA 7.5-point favorites. You went UCLA. I went USC. UCLA took care of business. They won by 19. Lakers -5.5 against the Magic. If Luka takes that shot, who knows? The Lakers may have won, but he didn't, and the Lakers lose 110-99 or 110-109. Chris actually chose Orlando in this one, so you win that.
You took the Lakers?
I did.
Oh.
And then Namias Queta, who had more points, him or Sam Merrill, both Utah State guys. You went Sam Merrill. I went Queta. Queta had 14. Sam Merrill had 0, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Thanks. And he played 21 minutes.
Come on.
I was like, did this guy sit out?
Just for that, Utah State deserves to lose tonight.
It was really funny when I looked that one up.
I know. I'm betting my hard-earned cash on Sam Merrill.
And he didn't even score a point.
And you're right. He played 21 minutes, so it wasn't like he didn't play. He was in there. Doesn't do anything. All right, let's get to it. I'm 7-5. Scraby's 6-6.
Oof.
We got a big matchup tonight. Detroit 10.5 over OKC. Now, OKC's been without SGA. And, you know, the word on this now, Scraby, is that SGA is only 4 or 5 games away from being eliminated in the MVP conversation. Because you can only miss so many games.
Really? Oh, yeah. I knew that. Because someone else is.
Jokic only has 2 more. So it's possible that SGA and Jokic both eliminate themselves from the MVP before it's over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a lot of people are running out there to bet on Cade Cunningham now to win MVP.
Wow.
So something to keep in mind. I'll take Detroit. So I think OKC's a mess, and Detroit lost to the Spurs the other night. They're going to come back hard.
I will take Detroit as well.
Speaking of the Spurs, they've won 9 in a row, 6.5 at Toronto. Spurs are having a great season. And it's not just Wemby, but it seems like it's just Wemby.
It does seem like it's just Wemby. I'll go Spurs.
I'll take 6.5 at home. I'll take Toronto to keep it close. Our old friend DeMar DeRozan still playing in the league for the Kings, 15.5 points at Houston. The Kings won the other night. That snapped a 16-game losing streak for Sacktown.
Poor DeMar DeRozan.
No kidding. Doesn't he wish he was still back with the Bulls? Because they've only lost 10 straight.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, 16, that's tough.
Yeah. I'll take DeRozan to go over because I've always been a DeRozan fan.
I'll take him to go under because he's on the Kings.
All right. College basketball tonight. UConn 5.5 over St. John's. St. John's won the first meeting. This one is the rematch at UConn. Scraby.
I got to go UConn at home.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I know what I should do, but I just root so hard for Dan Hurley to lose his mind. Not that Rick Pitino is like the nicest guy ever, but I'll take St. John's. Another rematch tonight. Gonzaga 26.5 over Portland.
Ooh.
The first time Gonzaga was favored by 29 and Portland won.
That was in Portland.
Yeah, tonight they're in Spokane. Portland's not. Gonzaga's going to have to whip them, aren't they? I'll take Gonzaga.
Yeah, there's no shot. Portland wins.
No mercy shown tonight.
Gonzaga.
USD basketball. We haven't talked much about this. You know, Steve Lavin was fired, but kept on to coach the final 3 games. It's a bit of an odd way to do it, I think. But that's how they chose to do it. Lavin had his home finale the other night. They lost that. Just didn't go well for Steve at USD. I thought he would do better, frankly. I really did. Tonight he's at Oregon State. Oregon State's favored by 7.5. Scrape.
Oregon State is favored by 7.5.
Oh, you think USD is going to be favored?
No, I'm going to go Oregon State.
All right. Just since I gave Lavin a bit of a plug, I'll go USD to keep it at close. San Diego State only 1.5 over Utah State. I got to go with the Aztecs because they have to win this game. Scrape.
Say the spread again. Sorry.
1.5. Aztecs favored.
Yeah, they have to win this game, so I have to go Aztecs.
All right, we'll try 146.5 points. That's a lot, I think, but you're up. That would be like 76 to 70.
I just said they would go over the other night, and they didn't. I'm going to go under.
The Aztecs are just not doing defense anymore, right? They just don't. I'm going to go over. It just seems like it's going to be over. All right, one more. This is an NHL game. The NHL's returning to business tonight after the dramatic gold medal. And the gold medal goalie, Connor Hellebuck of Winnipeg, plays at Vancouver tonight. Now, there's two parts of this. Remember, he's the American hero for winning the gold medal. He basically took the gold medal from Canada, and he's playing for a Canadian team at another Canadian team tonight.
There's a lot of things happening here.
There's a lot going on there. I don't think he's going to be cheered in Vancouver for many reasons.
I have to say, I've been very curious to see how these players are received. Like, I don't have a feeling one way or the other, but I don't know what Canadians are going to do.
I mean, it's not, you can't boo the guy. He just did something incredible, but it was against Canada.
Hey, he makes some good saves. They'll be back behind him.
Well, he's on the road tonight, so he's playing for a Canadian team at a Canadian team. I'm going to take him, Winnipeg, and I hope he plays well, and I hope they cheer him.
What do you mean you're going to take him? You're going to take Winnipeg?
Huh?
You're going to take Winnipeg. You're not going to take him.
Yeah, he plays for Winnipeg. Okay. I'm taking him.
All right, I'll take the other team, Vancouver. They're terrible, though, aren't they?
They are bad this year.
Great.
All right, we're done with the picks. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Hopefully we'll see Tony soon, and we will let you know when he arrives. But don't go anywhere.
Follow the high-flying UCSD Triton.
Matt Scraby back here with you in the Bill House Studios. We know how. Chris just sat down, so there he is. Hello, sir.
Taking a nap. Tony Gwynn nap.
You fell asleep?
No.
That would be funny.
You know what? I'm I'm somebody you can count on.
Yeah,
not really.
No. I can count on you. If you say you'll be there, you'll be there. Now, Tony, on the other hand, he will be there, but he might
be there
show up on time.
He may show up on Tony Gwynn time, which does happen.
He's pretty punctual for the most part, plus or minus 5 minutes, mostly plus. 5 minutes.
You know what? This is totally fair. With Tony, it's not a question of whether he'll show up; it's whether he'll remember to show up.
Yeah, sometimes that is an issue. Sometimes the guy has a lot going on in his head during.
He does.
Season.
He's pulled in a lot of different directions. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. For our show today, Padres did win over the Angels, 7-3 today. If you're into spring training scores, there is your score. Scraby, this one seems like I don't know if you saw this, NFL coaches complaining and it's, of course it's Sean Payton has to get in on this.
Yeah, of course.
Because he knows more than anybody. Apparently Troy Vincent, the NFL's executive vice president of operations, said that there were 171 replay reviews last year or replay assist. And Troy Vincent said of those 171, there were 5 that they wish they had, they had back.
Really?
They didn't do it right. That's
name
pretty
them?
good. Sorry?
Do they name which plays?
No, I'm not looking at that. I don't know if it would have to be at the bottom of the story if they do.
I don't think they would.
Yeah, but here's the story. Now listen to this. This is such a small percentage, and Sean Payton is having a cow about this. Of the 5 mistakes that the NFL is admitting to, and again, it's an entire season, 260 games.
Yeah.
And they made 5 mistakes. 4 of them took place in the early games, the 10 a.m. games. Only 1 took place in the afternoon games. Do you know why that might be, Scrape?
There's less afternoon games?
Exactly. Very good. Troy Vincent said it's because the volume of games is in the morning. So Sean Payton is upset about this. He's a little bit surprised to find out about this. And they're worried about these mistakes that are happening in the morning games. Sean Payton says, I want to play in the 4 o'clock window, which is 1 o'clock. We should never have a work shortage in replay, blah, 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 blah. Now, Vrabel, the Patriots, play in the early morning a lot.
Yeah.
And he says we need to evaluate the staffing at that level. I mean, this is too much about nothing. 5 mistakes ridiculous. The whole year? And you're making
ridiculous.
A federal case out of this? What am I missing?
I mean, Mike Vrabel, you just went to the Super Bowl. I don't think any of those happened against you.
I don't understand, and we talk about it with the ABS, and we're going to talk about it as the season goes. I don't understand why life in sports has to be perfect because, frankly, life is not perfect.
I've been thinking about this, Chris. It's because we demand it. It's because
we
the fans,
the viewer,
viewers and the fans are like, we see it right there. It should be called that way. We demand this. We have created this problem.
You know what's crazy, though? You're right, but we always demanded it. In the 70s, the 80s, I watched, more football than anyone. The Dolphins got hosed out of a few games, and and the team they played got hosed out of a few games. I demanded it to be right, but you know what was funny, Scrabe?
What?
I woke up on Monday and went on with my life. It's not the end of time.
It's not.
And I just, if you're looking at replay now, you're doing everything you can to get it right. You've got assists, you've got this, you've got that, you got challenges, you got everything. If 5 plays slip through those cracks, Just shut up. It's 5 plays. Come on.
What if those 5 plays changed the entire outcome of the game?
Well, look, we already had the thing with the Rams-Seahawks game, right? And the 2-point conversion.
Started. I still am at a loss for words that you guys don't think it's a problem that the Prime TV guy called the referees and said, "Hey, you missed one."
That's
like
right.
I still can't believe that you guys are fine with that.
All right, so since the Prime TV let the replay people know what was wrong, just use that guy as a replay official, and everything will be solved.
Terry McCauley,
because he'll see everything.
He'll see everything. What he could do? He could call the play as he's replaying it on TV, so that we know what's going on. But still, I think it's ridiculous that you guys don't find that a big deal.
Zach, what is it, Charbonnet or whatever?
Yeah, Charbonnet.
Yeah, just picked up the ball and handed it to the referee. 2 points.
It was crazy. No, it was crazy. They went to go line up for a kickoff, and then they're like, "Oh, hold on," and then Sean McVay did lose his mind, which I'm with. Sean
I don't
McVay
think I've ever.
this.
I will say this, Grabe, and I've never seen anything quite like that. And when you think about it, those 2 points may have ultimately determined the Super Bowl because it gave the Seahawks home field.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can sleep easy knowing that the Seahawks are probably the best team in the NFL last year. So the best team won. But
would they have beaten the Rams in LA in the NFC Championship?
That's a great question.
We don't know.
We'll
never know.
We don't know.
We'll never know.
The Rams almost beat them in Seattle, so.
And the Rams did beat them in LA during the regular year. By the way, if you're wondering, the other big news in the NFL with the combines getting started is that we're not going to have a tush-push ban proposal this year.
Yes, correct.
You know, I got to say, the Eagles started to actually not make it sometimes last year. Maybe it's starting to finally get figured out enough. What do you think? No,
I
still
think
almost
it is.
automatic.
I think it is. It's not as automatic as it was a couple years ago. They're starting to defend it a little bit more in different ways, and it kind of shows that the NFL is saying now, okay, this is a play that's not unfair. It's a play that stinks to go against, but we're going to allow it now. We're not going to ban it.
One more thing from Sean Payton, talking about them being concerned about injuries and the whatnot, and then complaining about the fact that the NFL put the kickoff, what do you call it now? The exciting kickoff or
the dynamic kickoff?
Sorry, the dynamic kickoff.
Exciting kickoff.
Yeah. Apparently, the dynamic kickoff added 1,000 more kickoffs to the league this year, where we would all say as fans, hey, that's good. I hate to agree with Sean Payton, but what he says is, if you're really concerned about injuries, maybe you shouldn't be putting 1,000 more kickoffs in.
And that is very true.
So he is pointing out what you and I point out all the time. They can say whatever they want in the NFL, but they don't care about injuries. They don't.
I can't disagree with you about that. They're trying to get an 18th game. They're trying to play on the moon. They're trying to play in Australia. They're trying to play everywhere.
Play on the moon.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Jaguars have 2 home games in London. I think that has to do with their stadium being remodeled more so than them wanting them there. But the 49ers are playing in Australia and Mexico City, and the Jaguars are playing 2 games in London. Chris, the NFL does not care about us anymore.
I can't wait for that first Dolphin 49er game at the Elon Musk Dome on the moon. It's going to be something.
It will be the Elon Musk Dome, too.
Of course it will be. Who else could afford to build it?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right, we got Sports Court coming up. It's a lively rendition of it. Don't miss it. Gwynn and Chris rolls on.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games down the...
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby. from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, You're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
Matt Scraby here with you on Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Tony Gwynn Jr. will join us next hour. I have established contact with him. He had to take care of some things at the Peoria Sports Complex, and he is going to make his way over, and he will be on it the next hour. We have our sports court here, which I think, honestly, was one of the more lively sports courts we've had in a while. So I think people are going to enjoy that. There's a couple topics that I think are interesting in there. Well, so that's about to happen here in a couple minutes. We're also going to have our Big Five at 4:40. And then Chris and I talked about before the show, we talked about all of the different players in baseball and where they are now. So Chris goes through each roster. This is how crazy Chris is. And I don't mean crazy in a bad way. He goes through each roster and he like types this stuff up, and he has like a spreadsheet that he pulls out, and he has it all stapled and it's color coded and all this other stuff, but everything is taken care of by Chris. So we have that a little bit later. Also, we're going to play Manny Machado with Ben and Woods this morning at 4:00. We already played Chris versus the Fans today since Chris had to leave and go call some Aztecs women's basketball. We played that at 2:40 today, but we will play Manny Machado at 4:00 for everyone. So that is the schedule that is coming up. And we have traffic here, and then we'll get right into sports court. I will say for the YouTube viewers, the video is not working for me. It's been exporting for almost 2 hours. So you're just going to get the audio, and all of you people in the car or walking around, nothing will change for you. But I think this is a fun sports court.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Well, guys, my sources are showing that crash on eastbound 8 near College may be cleared out of the right lanes. Yeah, all but the left lane was blocked for a while because there was a spill thrown into the mix. But yeah, it looks like that is clearing up. In the backup of that, though, just for Waring Road, stalled car in middle lanes. And we're getting reports of a crash in the East County, eastbound 8 near Spring Street, not showing if lanes are blocked. Southbound 5 before J Street, collision involving a couple vehicles, including a semi. It's over to the right shoulder. And South 805 before Plaza Boulevard, accident over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Do you have a sports issue, San Diego? Do you need a third party to make a decision? The guys have put on their robes and picked up their gavels.
All rise. Here comes the judge.
Gwynn and Chris Sports Court starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I think we got some good ones today, Chris. Are you
All right,
ready?
we're going, for those of you just tuned in, we're going a little more modern. Instead of 1776, we're taking the sports court right into 2026 today. No wigs. So.
Oh, yes, no wigs. That is an unfortunate part of it, but we needed to catch up in time because we got some modern issues that are going on. I don't think George Washington faced the one of these. So I will tell you about it in just a
Samuel
second.
Adams didn't run into any of these problems. So.
Maybe no baseball cards. no, I don't think they ran into any of these problems.
Yeah.
But here we go. But first, if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla for dining or takeout options. Visit spiroscuisine.com. Our first one today.
Wait a second. Turn that down.
Okay.
I think we should still have some sort of semblance of the good old days.
Okay.
So instead of the music to intro our first case today.
Okay.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
The first town crier?
I'm the town crier. The first matter before this court today is as follows.
Thank you, Mr. Crier.
You're welcome.
Here upon the court, my father passed away. No.
Oh, no, don't be like that. What happened? Some poor guy's father passed away.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
no,
one's
this is
sad.
terrible.
And this actually is one I think more people come across than I than we all think, and sad. But my father passed away a year ago due to cancer, and it's been pretty hard on our family. I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. We were all going through his belongings after his passing, and I was the only one who used to go through his baseball card collection with him. I put them aside for months, but I was finally ready to look through things. And it turns out my dad had 3 very valuable cards. I told my brothers and sister, and one of the brothers said, we should split everything 4 ways. Here's the thing. They didn't even know these cards existed. The memory was between me and my dad. I may not even sell them, but if I do, where should the money go? I was planning, if I did sell them, to take my family on a small vacation. So, Chris, you're up first. Where does said money go?
I don't know where the money should go, but I think you should send the cards to Scraby and I for closer inspection. Make sure that they're, really on the up and up. So that you and I will have the cards.
Yes. And then I'll check the minting of it, and then I'll make sure that you're getting the right price, and then I'll swap it with my own.
Right, and then or as soon as we get them, we'll just, oh, no, these aren't worth anything. This is kind of interesting. So now I need a little more information, and I don't know if you have it.
There was some more in the post.
Are we to assume that the other siblings didn't even really know Dad collected baseball cards? Like, they didn't even know it was something he ever did.
It seems like there was no interest.
No interest. They just never were involved. This son was the one that, kind of knew about it. So the dad didn't officially leave the cards to the son. It was just something that the son claimed when they were going through the stuff because no one else cared about it, right?
Yes, correct. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you here. I want to rule in favor of this son and tell him to take his family on a nice vacation. But I don't know that I can, because I don't know that the actual rule of law allows this. I think the rule of law in my court, and this goes back to 1776, and I've been using these things for 250 years now.
You are that old, so.
I know. The family, whether they knew about it or not, I think is immaterial. The fact of the matter is there was something that the father owned that was of value. And if the father, and again, I have to guess a little, but if the father basically said, hey, everybody just split everything up evenly, this is part of what they'd have to split up evenly. And here's my last thought on it. If the daughter was in, let's say the daughter was big on the car, and so she took the car, and then they found out there was 6 cubes of gold bullion in the trunk. She doesn't get it all, even though she's the one who was kind of the car person. I'm ruling against the brother here, even though on the surface I certainly think he should get the money, but I don't think the law is going to allow me to give it to him.
You have made some great points, but this isn't real court. This is sports court.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And in sports court, I hope it never gets to the point where you have to get real legal action involved, but maybe it will. So in the meantime, I say you try and say, hey, you guys didn't even really care about this. I'm not spending the money on myself, my family, and I think that our dad would have wanted me to spend this money on our family vacation.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have. And no, I mean, I hate to say, unless he didn't like the other siblings. I mean, there's so many other factors here.
I don't think that's a part of it.
Yeah, I don't either. So, now I will say this to the brother who brought this before the court. You get all of my congratulations and pats on the back for your honesty. But because he didn't need to say anything, right? He could have just taken the cards and sold them. Nobody would have even known.
That's true.
But as I like to say, honesty is not always the best policy.
You like to say that?
I don't, but in this case, it sure seems to be the thing. I don't think he get all the money. I don't. I'm sorry. I think they luck into this one.
If we're going to, because it's only 2 of us today, so if we're going to make a decision,
we don't have somebody to. We don't have Tony right now to be the tiebreaker.
I guess I have to go with the actual legal decision and say that it would have to be split, because There was no further instructions on who got what. So
I know there's another part of it that says possession is 9/10 of the law. I've never really found that to be all that something I follow too closely.
Well,
I just
you have it.
So what? So what? You're holding it. Good. If he hadn't have said anything, he would have been, in the clear. But he did. Gonna have to share the money.
Well, like you said, honesty is not always the best policy. So next
That's
time,
right.
learn from it, sir.
Learn from your mistake.
All right. Would you like to present the next case, Chris?
No, I would not.
Oh, okay. Hear ye, hear ye.
Oh,
Case
that. I'm sorry.
Number 2.
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I was derelict in my duties there.
We got a thesaurus on the air today.
I know.
This one, George Washington, I guarantee you never faced. I'm a father of 2 boys, 12 and 8. The 8-year-old is really into soccer, and one of his friends got lessons from a local high school soccer player. She's pretty good in her own right, and the price for her to come over to our house and work with our son to strengthen the fundamentals is pretty good. She's great. She knows what she's talking about. She makes it fun, and again, the price is right. Here is my thing. Whenever she comes over, she is wearing soccer shorts and a sports bra for the quote-unquote workout. My 12-year-old son now has interest in soccer when he never did before and wants her to teach him as well. Obviously, a teenage girl in a sports bra in the backyard with my kids and me watching is a very strange visual. I haven't told my wife that I feel this way in fear of her saying I'm attracted to the young woman. Do I tell my wife, Chris?
Wait. Is this getting weird?
No,
like he's attracted to her.
No. He's scared that his wife might think that he is by pointing out she's in a sports bra.
Yeah. Because if that's the case, I may have to send it down the hall where they're looking at the Epstein files. But I can't.
No,
I'm not ruling on that. If the guy likes the 12-year-old kid,
he made it very the girl wasn't 12. She's a senior in high school. He made it very clear. Everything is on the up and up, but he thinks the visual is strange and people might think twice about it.
This is he shouldn't be thinking that even at all. Real easy ruling here. You pull the young lady aside and you say, for the sake of my kids who are a little young, can you please wear a T-shirt over?
I don't think a man can do that to a high school girl.
Oh, absolutely you can.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, absolutely you can, and I'm ordering you to do it. This is my kids are 8. My kids 8, 10, 12 years old. I need you to, I understand you're comfortable, but I need you to, stay comfortable. But I need you to, get a T-shirt on. That is a fair thing to say. And I don't think she realizes it. She probably thinks it's, the normal garb that she would wear.
Yeah.
And he needs to tell her that garb is not good for 12-year-old kids. Sorry, it's just not. This is it. What do you mean you can't do that? Why can't you do it?
Just in this day and age, talking to any sort of underage girl about
I got
how
an
they
idea
look is not a good idea.
Then get your phone out, film it.
No, that's even worse.
Well, have evidence if you're worried. What are you worried about? Don't touch her.
Well, he's not. He's made it very clear.
Stand across the room from her and say, "Would you mind wearing a T-shirt next time? Period. Thanks for a great lesson today."
All right. Well,
that's it.
That is your ruling.
What is your ruling? Oh my
okay.
goodness!
If you're going to ask her to wear a T-shirt, you got to tell your wife, and your wife can ask her to wear a T-shirt because
better ruling. Ruling.
All right.
Better.
So tell the wife, and then tell the wife, hey, there's nothing behind it except for our 12-year-old son never cared about soccer, and now he wants soccer lessons from the sports bra high school senior.
All right, you know what? For once, the court system in this particular jurisdiction worked out the way it's intended to.
Wow.
The two of us came together and we came up with the proper solution.
It's a bipartisan effort.
The wife tells the daughter or the instructor, just throw a T-shirt on. We appreciate you. You're doing a great job.
Okay. All right.
Wife does it.
All right. Very nice. We came to a conclusion on this one.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on a second, Scram. I'm kind of proud of ourselves.
I'm kind of proud of ourselves too. Look at that. We worked together. We came to a conclusion, even though we disagreed. That's how it should be done.
Even everybody driving along today right now, listening to this particular sports court's going, you know what? That was good. They came up with a good solution here. Good for those guys.
Okay. Give me the announcement for the third, Chris.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. It is time for the final matter to be heard before this court today.
This is my favorite.
Actually, we may just have to do this be the way we do it every time.
I think
now
so.
With the hear ye.
And we're going to have to get Tony involved on the hear ye.
Oh, yes.
All right. I am a 17-year-old senior in high school. For the last 2 years, I've played on the basketball team. And although I don't start, I have carved out a role for myself in that I'm a very hard worker and one of our best shooters. My coach really appreciates hard work and toughness. And over the years, I've earned his respect by never missing practice, playing hard in games, etc. My coach frequently tells us that if we have a problem with playing time, we as the players should speak to him about it. He sent an email to parents saying they should not come to him about playing time. The student athlete should be the one to deal with this issue. My parents are furious because I am not a starter, and I am fine with my role on the team. There are kids better than me in certain aspects. Almost every day, my parents ask me if I have talked to my coach. I tell them no, because I am not unhappy with my playing time. I want them to stop. So, Chris, should I tell my coach my parents won't let this go?
You know, one of my pet peeves are, don't you, Scraby?
Parents
I have
getting
a lot of
involved
them.
in sports.
Yeah, you know what? I've been doing this judge thing for a long time, 250 years now. I've heard a lot of cases. One thing that I have a long laundry list in my my chambers back here of things that bother me to no end are parents who get involved in their kids' sports career.
Yeah.
If it's anything beyond buying some equipment that they need or coming and supporting your child, boy or girl, rooting like crazy, supporting the rest of the team, bringing orange wedges if that must be, the rest of it, get out. Get out. Parents, it is not your young sports career. If your child comes to you and asks you for a little advice on something, by all means, be there to help them figure it out a little bit. In this case, sounds to me like the 17-year-old has it figured out just right, happy with their playing time. And you know what? Anybody that cares about whether or not you start in basketball doesn't get the point of basketball, because what really matters is who's out on the court to finish.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're playing the best that day and you're shooting well, you'll probably be in at the end when it really matters the most. Starting is just a word. These parents got to get the hell out of the way. This drives me nuts. And if you're a parent driving along right now and you're thinking of talking to your kid's high school coach, rethink it. Rethink it.
I have to fully agree. I think this kid and this coach have figured out a pretty solid concept of, accountability towards each other. You come to your coach and you say, hey, coach, I'm not happy with my playing time. Then you learn a little bit about having to confront someone about something that there's a lot to be learned from this. And I love what this coach is doing. I think a lot of it is him trying not to talk to the parents, even though I'm sure he still talks to the parents. But
look,
I think this kid is very smart, and they're spot on. And you need to have your parents stop somehow.
Wow, that may be more difficult to do. What I would advise the person whose case this is, if they maybe they don't feel comfortable talking to their parents directly about this, because that can be tough.
Yes.
Find this particular YouTube clip and send it to them and say, I want you to watch what Judge Ello says, and I want you to act that accordingly.
That's it. End of story.
Honestly, parents, I can't stand that. I love so many parents. I love a lot of things that parents do for their kids, and I'm surrounded by kids from the college level, to the high school level. I see them in basketball games. I see parents at basketball games yelling at their kids during a game and making their kids cry during the game. Kids looking up in the stands while they're trying to play because their parents are being idiots. I've coached at pony league and little league levels. 99% of you parents are fantastic. You do all the right things. That 1% is making it really difficult on a lot of people. And in this case, this is just a no-brainer.
Yeah. I agree. Well said. Well said. All
Thank you, sir. We will now retire the courts for today.
Yes, we will. That's it for you, Chris, for today. So you're going to head off.
Yes,
and call
I'm retiring
an
from
Aztecs game.
I'm retiring back to my chambers for the rest of the day.
Yes, you are. You could take off your robe when you get to your chambers. But when we get back, Bennett Woods talked to Manny Machado this morning, and I'll share that with all of you on 97.3 The Fan. Yes, we are ready to go. I started talking again before I hit my mic on, so that is why it took so long. I do love that Chris called him VTLO. And I do think we're going to be talking about the Giants this year in somewhat of a not great manner for the Giants, because I don't know what's happening with the managerial situation in San Francisco, but it's not for us to worry about. You are listening to Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. And Ben and Woods, we're out in spring training for the last 3 days. By the way, I'm Scraby. Tony is going to join me here after this segment. So he has made it home. He's getting situated, and he will be on the show around 4:15 or 4:20. But Ben and Woods, they were out at spring training this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no shortage of interviews, no shortage of stars that came by, and Manny Machado came by. And, you know, they have a history with Manny Machado. I believe, oh no, they took it out of here. There used to be like a picture frame. I think it might be somewhere else, but when they cleaned the studio, they took it out of here. But there was like a best friends contract with Manny Machado and the guys, and he signed it and everything. So they were locked into being best friends. But it's not here anymore, which is kind of unfortunate because it was cool. So I'm going to have to go see if I can find that. I don't know where it is, but I will effort to look for it. So, you know, with that, let's hear from Manny Machado. He was with Ben and Woods today, or this morning, and he talked about the upcoming season.
All right, sitting down with us right now, number 13, the impossibly cool Manny Machado is back with us here on 97.3 The Fan and Ben and Woods. Manny, happy spring training. It's always good to talk to you.
Appreciate it, guys. Never get tired of this, huh? No.
The baseball part, not the us part.
No, the baseball part. I didn't mean, no, I'm not foolish enough to think he never gets tired of talking to Ben and Woods. It's one of our favorite traditions that it's become, getting a chance to talk to you. So, how you feeling? How's everything going so far?
It's great, man. Camp's great. Feeling good. Body's feeling good. So, just another year adding to the books.
Yeah.
I think I have to start with your new teammate, your former childhood opponent in Little League and growing up. Nick Castellanos got a locker right next to you. We got to talk to him a couple of days ago. It was a really great conversation, getting to meet him, getting to know him a little bit. What's it been like having him in that clubhouse next to you?
He's been awesome, man. Obviously we go way back from Little League and USA teams together, getting drafted together in minor leagues, and obviously playing against each other for a long time in the big leagues. But just having him in the same clubhouse it's awesome. We used to dream this as kids, playing together in those backfields, playing 2-on-2 games in the backfields after games, and now having him here talking hitting. I think he's one of the greatest hitters of our games. He's seen some pretty good hitters playing with Miggy and JD and Victor and some good hitters hitting. So he loves hitting, loves talking baseball. So, adding a guy like that to our ball club, I think was huge. I think we got a really cohesive group that's together and, very high in IQ of baseball. So, it was good to have him.
Now, confirm or deny, because he said when you guys were younger, he said he was actually ahead of you. He said he was better than you.
What aspect?
At baseball.
In what aspect?
He said I was a little further ahead.
He said
height.
He said Manny was always as smooth as silk.
Yep.
He said, but when he was like 12, 13, he was a little smaller, a little maybe underrated as a player. And then when he hit like 16,
boom,
and came into his size, he just exploded
Absolutely.
and took off.
He is spot on. Yeah, I was. I wasn't as tall. I wasn't as tall. I had a later growth spurt. I mean, I hit my growth spurt probably like 14. So I was later, and then kind of went to a small school, Miami, kind of just stayed under the radar. Really wasn't scouted much until I'd probably say like my late sophomore year, like my sophomore year in high school, I had a really big year. And that's when scouts were kind of like, oh man, who is this guy? Then my junior year, I had another big year. So it wasn't until probably like after my junior year, that summer ball, when I kind of like blew up and kind of became who I am. Yeah.
Did you ever lack confidence playing baseball?
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was always.
I loved it too, but I like severe confidence. I don't think loving it is the issue here.
No, I mean, my confidence was. I knew what I can do. I was always smooth with the glove.
Yeah.
always smooth with the glove. I could always smooth. I just wasn't as strong as some of these other kids. Like Nick was always taller and stronger than me. So I kind of just stayed on the radar. I was kind of more of a contact hitter, just hitting line drives everywhere. We didn't have that big power, but I always had the defense. I always had a good arm as well.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of just just always was always the outlier.
Now, we found out from Joe Musgrove just a few minutes ago at that age, he was also a theater kid. He was in the plays and stuff at school. Did you do other things besides baseball growing
Basketball.
up?
Basketball was the only other sport I did. Wasn't really a big, I was very shy kid. So I really didn't do much. It was just mostly sports, just baseball, basketball, a little bit of flag football here and there, but mostly baseball and basketball.
Man, we're so excited to get the season underway. I know you are too, but we're also excited about your sweatshirt. That team, SDFC, has come in and they've captivated the hearts and minds of San Diego. Mikey Varis is a guy we get to have on our show every now and then. We love talking with him. It's converted us into big soccer fans. Were you always a huge soccer fan, or did this just kind of fall in your lap and now you're passionate about it?
No, so when I got into pro sports, I got into soccer. I wasn't a soccer fan. Like I just told you right now. I mean, I was a baseball and basketball guy, right? Football, obviously, too. But soccer was never there. I just hated the cardio.
Yeah, 100%. It's too much running. No,
running around for like 10 miles the entire game.
I did not.
It's too much.
But now my kid, he's playing soccer, and I think every kid should.
Yep.
It's a great for hand-eye coordination, for control, for your feet. So
foot-eye coordination.
I mean, Well, both.
Yeah, both.
It's both. It works for both. So I got into pro sports, got into soccer. I'm a huge Barcelona fan. I love Messi. At that time it was the rivalry between Messi and Messi, who's the greatest of all time. So I kind of started getting drawn into that world, right? And I started watching the Premier League, Champions League, Spanish League, and that's how I kind of got into the sport, right? And I would always follow it, since then. And then obviously, then coming to, the U.S. soccer is not big. Let's be honest. It's not. Obviously, now Messi coming over, it's blowing up. Now I guess to San Diego, another sports team in San Diego starts blowing up. And I knew instantly that it was going to be a hit in San Diego just because not the fact that it's sports, but just knowing the fans, how the fans were going to react. I think they were kind of like, oh, how's soccer gonna be in San Diego? And I was like, man, like I think we're gonna draw fans.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get fans. Fans love, like we're San Diego's such a sports town that they love, not only that they love sports, but they love their teams no matter who it is.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the biggest and beautiful things about San Diego and the San Diego fans, that it doesn't matter who they are. I mean, San Diego State, San Diego, the Wave, FC, football, Chargers, where it was, they show up, man. They show up and they support no matter who it is. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
So which sport do you think has the best athletes? Baseball, basketball, football, soccer? I mean, everyone always has an argument.
Yeah, this is a big debate, man. It's a big debate, and you're throwing me a kind of little wrench here. You know,
that's what we do.
It's crazy. But look, I'm not gonna be biased. I think,
basketball.
It's baseball players could just. I mean, we have Will Myers walking there. He was a three-way sport player.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of us baseball players, we could play multiple sports, right?
Nobody can hit though. Those guys can't hit.
That was my next thing. It's who could come in and step into a batter's box and hit 90, hit
85.
Miller.
Michael Jordan.
Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, 102 mile per hour fastballs down there, and with a slider. It's not even the fastball. Like, okay, if you can go in there, and I'm gonna throw you 10 fastballs only, maybe you might contact maybe one or two, right? But now you start wrinkling the slider, you start wrinkling a changeup. I mean, just forget about it, right? So that's why I think it's a little bit of an outlier for us on just the aspect, because we can do other sports. Other sports, maybe it's going to be a little bit harder to do baseball.
Let's talk hitting with Manny Machado. We got to do it a little bit last year. So for you, after the season ends, you go into it and you look, and I can't remember how many times you got robbed at the wall last year, dead center. You probably know off the top of your head. It was easy 5-6 more pops last year if it's just 10 feet to the left. Petco Park is a difficult park to hit at. Any adjustments in your mind of maybe things that you need to do to get the ball out of the yard this year? Because, I mean, you just got hosed early. I remember so many times.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, just keep hitting it, keep scoring it up. You know, just keep scoring it up. Good things will happen. I did tell Eric Groom there, in a conversation we had earlier this year, about maybe bringing the fences a little bit. More seats for you. More seats for you. You know, you can have more seats, more money. You know, like why not? You know, it's a win-win.
Business sense.
It's a win-win. It's a win for us, and it's a win for you. You know, so I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that was an avenue that maybe I threw out there to see if it happens. But yeah, man, Petco Park it's been tough over the years to hit at with the ball flying. Not flying as much as it used to. Like my first year here, it did 18, 17, the balls are juiced and they were going.
Yeah.
Now it's not so much.
Are they different now?
that
You
way.
guys can tell. I know you guys can tell.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference, but it's definitely a difference. It definitely is.
I don't know how much you believe in lineup protection, but Craig Stammen's been toying with the idea of having Tatis bat behind you in spring training so far. What do you think that does, possibly for the Padres offense as a whole?
I mean, I've always been a big fan of, I think, our best years, offensively, selfishness of me and Toddy has been when we always backed each other up. When we're stacked in a lineup together, I think it's impressive. I mean, you got to pitch to one of us, right? You can't avoid us. Whether you're going to bring in a tough righty for us, okay. I mean, this is what they pay us to do, right? This is what we're made up for. So I'm not worried about who we're going to face the matchup, but I think when we're stacked up together, I think we're just dangerous, and we're kind of the same hitter, so we kind of see, whether it's he's hitting behind me or I'm hitting behind him, we see what they're doing to us, right, as hitters. So, it's dangerous when we're stacked up together, and I think that's the best lineup whenever we are, and not so separated between each other.
Yeah, I mean the lineup looks potentially really potent this year, and that's certainly certainly something we're looking forward to. Before we let you go, while we got you here, so a few years ago on this show, you were up for an extension. You mentioned it on this radio program. You got an extension. Then you mentioned AJ Preller getting an extension. He got an extension. Our contract is up at the end of the year. So while we have you here, if there is any way you could, our boss is actually on the board back in the studio.
Listening very
He's listening
closely
right now. Whenever Manny asks for an extension, good things happen. So the floor is yours.
You guys throw me wrenches all day.
Today,
huh?
That's what we do.
Wow,
Man.
It's too early for this.
Just say you want Ben and
You
Woods
want us to
back
write something
here.
out for you? I can script it if you'd
just
like.
say, just say we want Ben and Woods back for a long time. That's it.
I mean, you guys are the best in the biz. I mean, everyone in San Diego listens to us and listens to you guys, and we appreciate you guys' hard work coming out here. Keeping us informed in the off season. I hear you guys every once in a while when you guys get some guys on there, and I think you guys are the voice of San Diego.
Thank you. That's it. That's all
Thank you
we
so
needed.
much.
The best in the business.
It's
right
always
there,
a
buddy.
pleasure getting to do
Likewise,
this
guys.
every single spring. Manny Machado with us on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, that was Manny Machado, and I didn't hear the last part of that interview, and we're going to have to talk to Manny about being the voice of San Diego, Ben and Woods. I think that Manny needs to rep Gwynn and Chris a little bit. Tony's going to be back with us on the other side, so stay right there. He is in place, and we will continue on with a pretty normal show here on 97.3 The Fan.
Arizona, 419 out in San Diego. Looks sunny. At least the background, it looks real nice.
It's really hot here, Tony.
Oh, it's hot? Yeah,
Oh,
well, it's
yeah.
hot here too. We're about to touch 90 here soon.
We're not that
Which is-
hot, but we're hot.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Padres had another game.
Yes, they did. It must just feel like Groundhog Day for you.
It really does.
Just
really
constant, the same thing every single day.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining, but it is kind of Groundhog Day. Body's just now starting to get used to the basically playing at old Wrigley Field, day games every day.
Oh yeah, that's still weird to me that you play a bunch of day games when you always play night games.
And then the season starts, and it's like boom, you got to get on a new clock.
Yeah,
it's funny. I remember there was a push maybe a few years ago, maybe even before a few years ago, where they were starting to try to play more night games. But I don't really think people really liked it that much,
Really?
There's not enough of them, right? So you might do like a week where you do all night games, but eventually you go back to the day games, and
I think
I don't know.
As you guys get closer to the season, you get more night games.
Yes. You start playing a few more.
Like, I guess that makes sense. Like, but who's able to go to the games during the day?
I think it's deeper than that too, though. I mean, I think this is spring training has always been like kind of a destination place. It's everybody makes a trip to go there. And it's probably better to have these games in the day because then that gives people freedom to kind of move around what they want to do later on. But nonetheless, we got to see Michael King today, which it looked like it. You know what? It's a reminder of like what a big dog looks like
an ace.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that was as clean of innings we've seen.
He went 2 2/3, which Chris and I were both surprised that in his first outing he went so long, but that we also were kind of surmising maybe that's because he pitched so well.
He did. He had like, I think they probably like 35 pitches. He got to that 33, I think, or something around there, and came out the game. If he had a clean inning, he probably would have finished the third.
Now, is he? We were talking about this, like who is, and not that it really matters, but we were saying that Nick Pivetta probably deserves the opening day start, and because Bennett Woods asked him about opening day and everything. But like, what do you think is going to happen with the rotation? Does it really matter who's 1, 2, 3, or do you think that it's going to go Michael King, Joe Musgrove, Nick Pivetta?
No, I don't think that. I don't think it'll go like that. But I don't think it also. I think it. I don't know that it matters that much. Obviously, you want to reward whoever would be in the number one guy. I think Joe's probably, based on him not pitching last year, is probably the 3 going in.
Okay, yeah.
But who knows, man? Let this kind of play out.
I was hesitant to ask the question because I know where you're going to go with it, which is totally fine because it's true. It's so early in spring training.
I just hate trying to guess these things.
I know.
We ain't even seen Joe pitch yet. We ain't even seen Pivetta pitch yet. Today was the first day we saw King pitch. Like,
true.
I don't want to be making predictions of what the staff is going to look like. I think there's going to be a good battle for that 5 spot. Right now, Vasquez, the way he pitched this first outing, just kind of hard to say that he lost any ground. He threw the ball pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think he lost any ground. Now we had a slightly similar, or different lineup today. Slightly at the top, where you have Manny Machado hitting 2 and Jackson Merrill hitting 3, and then Toddy hitting cleanup. And Manny said with Bennett Woods that we just heard that he really wants to hit back-to-back with Toddy because he feels like that would be the best thing for their lineup. But they have had Fernando in the 4th spot the entire spring training so far. I mean, it's kind of indicating that he's not going to be the leadoff hitter anymore. But I'm curious to see if you think that it would be better for them to go 2-3 or 3-4.
I think it's better. I'll say this. I think Manny actually verbalizing that he wants to hit back-to-back, I think probably means he probably would like to bat 3.
So this is him telling everyone that
I don't know.
I
don't know, but does he usually talk like that? I can't remember him weighing in on where he wanted to hit before.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think, and in the same way that I think Stam earlier in spring indicated that Toddy didn't feel like his best spot was leadoff, right? I think when guys are kind of giving you a kind of a hint, I think you probably gotta listen. But
you definitely have to listen.
I think it's also about getting them at bats because they're getting ready to go to WBC. You know what I'm saying? They gotta crank up. So you gotta have all those dudes at the top so they can get as many at bats as possible. But obviously that's where they hit normally. But I think Manny hitting 2 is a chance for them to kind of get an extra look, see what something new looks like, but also make sure he gets his work in.
We didn't talk about this the other day, but Jackson Merrill is bypassing the World Baseball Classic, and he is not going to be on the team. Now, I don't know that means really anything, but it's got to be tough for him to stay in camp while everybody else is going to play for Team USA, unless they didn't ask him. I'm just assuming that he was asked to be a part of the team.
I don't see why it's got to be tough. He gets to remember, this is a young man that felt like his year was interrupted last year. I think he wants to be in camp where he's getting the consistent work. He's going to be able to get as many at bats as he needs. I don't know that it's a situation where he's like, oh man, they're going to go
away and I'm going to be here by myself and this is going to stink.
I don't think it's on that.
Your guy Ty France today, Tony, driving in some runs.
That is the ultimate ABS usage right there. We didn't know what happened. He turned a strikeout into a ball, and then in the very next pitch, and it was a strikeout that would have ended the inning. The very next pitch, he gets a single up the middle to drive in 2.
Nice. That is the perfect usage of ABS.
Perfect usage of it.
Yesterday, before you got here,
high leverage. It was bottom of 6. 2-2 count, and it goes from being punched out to getting another pitch.
Have you seen this whole thing around the internet about people feeling bad for the umpires now? They're like, oh, I feel so bad because they're going to get so embarrassed out there.
They're not, though. Here's the deal. First of all, the only time they're going to really get a whole lot is on the stupid ones that are like right down the middle or like missed by a whole lot.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they're gonna catch hell for.
Yeah.
No. But I think people are smart enough to decipher. I mean, Ty France, his is less than 1/10 of an inch. That's how close it was to being a strike.
Wow.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people will recognize, like, dang, that's a human eye that, missed it by 1/10 of an inch. You know what I'm saying?
I would consider that a pretty good call.
Yeah, I mean that they'll respect those. Won't get the oohs and ahs. It's the bad ones that catch like the ball's going through like the center of the pink.
There was
those
one
are
yesterday.
The ones. Yes, those are the ones that are gonna catch. You're gonna catch some heat for.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna replace one of my big 5 questions with something that Chris is very worried about, because yesterday there was a challenge that went like 5 challenges in a row, and Chris is very worried that the game is going to be ruined by multiple challenges.
Did Chris where did he see this at? Did he see, was it a clip he saw?
I saw it too. It was
it a clip you saw? The Cardinals or who was it? Pirates?
Yeah, it was Pirates and Red Sox.
Nah, dog. You guys got to watch the clips again.
What
because
happened?
There's different counts.
Oh,
there's
my
different
goodness.
counts. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw the same clip, and I was like, all right, let me look to see. I was like, 5 in a row. That's crazy. Like, let me see if the counts are lining up.
And
they didn't line up, but they linked them together like it was like 5 pitches in a row. And then the title also had you kind of fooled because it kind of insinuates that that's what it is.
You know, we're going to have a sit down with Chris, because he showed it to me from like far away, so I wasn't looking at the thing.
I think Chris is the most susceptible.
I think he is too, Tony. I think he. Do you know anything about Luka last night? Did Luka mouth something coming off the court?
Oh God, I haven't heard anything.
I think Chris got again because we cannot find it. I cannot find it. I'll fill you in on the other side, though.
Okay, let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris. Big Five coming up next.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. Wait on all the way down. Wait, wait, wait. All the way. Here we go. All the way. Oh, you idiot. I tried. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt my partner is getting tricked. Here's the deal. And I get it. The title, and this is why you got to like read carefully because the title is tricky. The title says umpire struggles, loses 5 consecutive ABS challenges. That's not 5 consecutive pitches.
Correct. Yeah.
It was 5 consecutive challenges. So if you notice in the clip, there's a Red Sox hitting, and then there's a Red Sox pitching.
Why didn't I pick up on this?
I think because there is people are afraid that is going to be something that actually happens, and I contend that it is very unlikely. I guess an umpire at the big league level can happen. And by the way, a lot of these calls are happening when there's a minor league guy doing the play. Because remember, in spring training, like I know in our games, we get 2 big league guys, 2 minor league guys, or guys that could be like going up and down.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think when the real games come along, it'll be just my man was just having a really bad day, and it won't be very many if there ever is like a 5
It'll be like once a year.
I don't even know if that's gonna happen.
Chris is legitimately like concerned that it's gonna ruin the game, and I'm like, Chris, you should have been. This isn't what to worry about. This is actually going to help the game. And I thought he liked this whole thing, and he's coming around on it, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't like it anymore. Why does everything need to be perfect?
because he got duped. That's why his worst fear had come true.
We're gonna
5 in a row.
We're gonna have to sit down with him and have a talk.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Everybody
we got traffic yet?
Yes, we do.
So let's check traffic and let's get to this big 5.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Get a little busier on our roads, especially North 15 in the North County. Crash has cleared before Miramar Road, but now getting reports of an accident blocking lanes up ahead at Scripps Poway Parkway. Another collision up ahead right before West Bernardo. This one appears to be blocking middle lanes. We've also got a stalled vehicle blocking the slow lane westbound 52 past Mass Boulevard, and reports of a crash on the Adams Avenue on-ramp to southbound 15. Looks like we may have a couple vehicles involved in that. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big 5 starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
And we are broadcasting, well, at least I am broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Tony is broadcasting from the Narnia Studios, where Narnia is behind him. People love those doors. It's one of the things. They really want to know what's behind them. And I'm like, it's not that cool, guys.
Oh, they could have saw it was open a few minutes ago. I got up and closed it. Y'all didn't pay attention there.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it because
number 5.
I think, I like Hunter Green, the Reds starting pitcher, and he was interviewed recently by a Cincinnati station, and there was something that happened over the offseason, and he kind of explains it, but there was someone making false claims about him, and so here's what he had to say about that.
I think people got confused with trade rumors, and to me, that I never cared about trade rumors. That's part of the game. Can't control it. Everybody, especially with social media now, believes they have a platform, and everybody wants to listen to them. So everyone's got opinions, but my issue was defamation of character. I didn't like that. I don't like false narratives, and I don't like. You guys can cut that out if you want, but people that know me and that have been around me, they know my character. And there was a comment and some things that went out that I've always taken the high road. I've always tried to be professional, but there's a line that's crossed. And if it was a different environment, trust me, it'd be handled a lot differently than it's been handled so far. But I got to be professional. A lot of eyes are on me. But my biggest issue was defamation of character. So that had to be addressed.
There was Hunter Green on a news interview. So my question, Tony, is very simple. Why are athletes exempt from defamation of character?
Exempt? What do you mean?
Like
why doesn't it apply when somebody defames them?
Like when someone on Twitter goes, Eric Hosmer, blah, 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 blah. That is defamation of character if it's not true.
I think in like the easiest terms, defamation character is hard to prove in court anyway. Like,
yeah.
I just think that, and I don't even know, I don't claim to be no lawyer, so I don't know. But I do know, I've heard that defamation of character is extremely hard to prove.
I've heard that too.
And I think given how long fans have been defaming athletes for their favorite team, of their most hated team, I don't know that you're gonna have a case. There's no case that's ever. I mean, I guess anybody could try it, but you know.
He makes a point though.
Listen, he makes a big point. I don't think that. I'm not saying he's wrong at all. I think he was defamed, and he's letting it be known that he didn't appreciate it. I don't know that he didn't go as far as to sue.
No,
he just felt like he just felt like he needed to stand up for himself on that one. He should have.
The Vapors on the chat says he has to prove he lost money over it, which makes sense because what do I think? Why are athletes exempt? I don't know. I'd never really thought about it until he said this. I've never been a fan of people just saying whatever they want about athletes. I think that's lame. I think that's stupid. I think there should be some sort of repercussions if you send an athlete a message that's, telling them that they want to kill you or something. I think all this stuff needs to be handled, and it's never going to be handled because the internet is a wild, wild world, and you can never fix the internet. But he makes a point that I think more people should think about, that things that are said about these guys on the internet, can follow them for a long time. Do you know exactly what was said? Because I looked and I did not.
I don't know. I saw that like 2 weeks ago, that clip, but I never figured out what it was that was said.
Yeah, me neither. I like how he says, if this was a different place, we would handle it a different way. I was like, do not mess with Hunter Green.
Number 4.
ESPN is doubling down on women's sports with programming focused on the WNBA and the NWSL. Last week, the network announced plans to launch, quote, Women's Sports Sundays. The weekly program is a first-of-its-kind franchise that will feature the matchups, highlight top stars, hone in on big moments, rivalries, and more. Rosalind Durant, ESPN Executive Vice President, said women's sports are experiencing continued momentum, and Women's Sports Sundays is ESPN's next step in meeting that demand. This franchise is about more than showcasing games. It's about building a consistent, high-profile destination that reflects the passion, excellence, and cultural impact of women's sports today while giving athletes and leagues the stage they deserve, end quote. I'm up first. Is America ready for this? I don't know. I don't know if America is ready for this.
What is it that they're getting ready for?
The Sunday night or Women's Sports Sundays. So it's just going to be dedicated because they're replacing Sunday Night Baseball with Women's Sports Sundays. It doesn't bother me whatsoever that they're doing this. Like, I don't know who would be bothered by this, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to get the viewership that they want. Yeah, that's all I got to say. I don't know that they're going to get the viewership that they want. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't know what is going to be happening in the ratings department. What do you think, Tony?
I mean, listen, these places, these businesses are in the business of making money.
Yes.
And I think that if they're making baseball, Sunday Night Baseball wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
And so they're no longer doing it. They're going to try to find something that, works. I think they wouldn't be going with this if they didn't think that it had some legs to it. It doesn't mean that in the end it'll be right, but I think considering how well all the women's sports are doing in terms of viewership, I think it does have plenty of legs to work.
And they're getting in on the bottom, quote unquote bottom, if women's sports viewership continues to rise. So it's not a terrible idea. I'm curious to see what happens though. I don't remember what number we're on. We're on number 3.
4, buddy.
No, now we're on number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Suns owner, which really bothers me that he's Matt with one T. Like that is the worst. I'm sorry. That's something you step on when you're walking into a house, not a name. Everybody, I'm named Matt, so I can say this. Suns owner Matt Ishbia wants more star players participating in All-Star Weekend events when Phoenix hosts the midseason showcase next year. To help, he has offered to pay $1 million prize to the winners of the 2027 Slam Dunk and three-point contest, with another $1 million going to charity in each event. And he said, let's get the best guys in. Let's make it awesome. The concept, however, would run into some red tape. Officials from the NBA league office and players union told ESPN such a prize would not conform with the existing bonus structure. Tony, do you think this is a good idea? Should they look into offering cash prizes to these guys at All-Star Weekend?
No, they don't need to do that. I think the last All-Star game was a step in the right direction in terms of the game. I don't know what they're going to do with the dunk contest. I think, guys, I don't know what exactly he's talking about. Who didn't participate?
I think he wants to get bigger names.
At the All-Star game?
For the dunk contest, probably specifically.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I just think I don't know that there's anything else to be done in the dunk contest. I mean, the only thing that can save it is if the names are the guys that get in there. And at this point, I don't know that anybody is going to go. You know what they need right now? They need Ant Edwards to do one. Who else is a big-time dunker? And I don't know why Ant Edwards is the only one that's like flashing through my head right now.
I can't think of anyone. Donovan Mitchell,
that's
maybe.
Crazy. Donovan Mitchell. I mean, that's what made the dunk contest sweet, was that there was always at least 1 or 2 stars in there. At times there was a whole boatload. The Vince Carter year, but it's gonna take these dudes wanting to care about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I don't think you should be giving. I mean, the cash prizes, in order to get them out there or whatever, fine. If that helps get some names out there, I'm cool with that.
Man, I would love to get $1 million to do some dunks. That would be great. Do I think this is a good idea?
Not if you're making a boatload anyway.
Oh well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the Mac McClungs of the world, who's
but he doesn't. He's
guy.
Not trying to offer that for Matt McClung.
Oh,
he's only
true.
trying to offer
That's
that to the big name guys.
Yeah, I don't think this idea is going to work. I think Matt Ishbia is coming in a little too hot in the NBA. He wants to change everything.
The super elite do. They come in hot, dog.
What do they call them these days? The Epstein class. Matt Ishbia is not part of that. So I just want to make it clear.
I'll let you have that one, buddy.
It's clear he is not a part of it.
Number 2.
2 Cincinnati stories today, but Cincinnati is suing former quarterback Brendan Sorsby in federal court for breaching his NIL contract. The lawsuit alleges Sorsby refused to pay $1 million exit fee after transferring to Texas Tech. The university seeks $1 million in liquidated damages, which Sorsby was contractually obligated to pay within 30 days of his transfer. The complaint actually stems from the billboard that was in New York Times Square that Texas Tech put up congratulating him on signing the deal. He's going to be making around $4 to $6 million reportedly with Texas Tech. Cincinnati, the school, stated that Sorsby's lucrative NIL agreement with the Bearcats required him to play for 2 seasons or pay a specific amount for the resulting harm if he left early. I'm up first. Why do these kids keep trying to break their contracts? All right, I have a wild idea. These guys have never been held accountable for anything in their life, and so they're just like, here we go. We're going to break our contract. No one's going to come after me for this $1 million. No one cares. I've gotten away with it before. I'll get away with it again. But that's the only explanation I have, unless they're just not aware that these are contractual obligations, but I believe that they're aware. So I think these are dumb moves. These are going to be this stuff is not going to affect NFL too much, but it will be asked about. Why didn't you pay the $1 million? Why did you have to go into a lawsuit with the University of Cincinnati? I just think that they need more accountability, Tony. What do you think?
No, what's the question?
Question is, why do these kids keep trying to break their contracts?
Because they've been allowed to break their contracts in the past?
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I mean, everybody's doing it. Coach has been breaking their contracts for forever.
That is true. But they also, someone has to pay.
What do you mean someone has to pay?
Like a school has to pay, like LSU had to pay Ole Miss for him to leave. There's an exit clause for the coaches.
Okay, well then you put an exit clause in. If that's what it takes.
That's what he had. He knew he was supposed to pay $1 million if he didn't go 2 years.
He about to find out.
All right. The final one.
Number 1.
I think this is pretty cool, though. I don't know if you saw this today, but CC Sabathia, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a Yankee last summer. Now he's going to be immortalized in Monument Park. He's going to have his number retired, number 52, retired on September 26th. He's going to be the 24th player to have his number retired by the franchise. And he basically said the Yankees is his place. So, Tony, he's your friend. What do you think about this?
I think it's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of people can say they're Hall of Famers, but ain't too many people can say that, they're Hall of Famers and in the Yankee Hall of Fame. That's wild.
You're with Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well deserved. His career speaks for itself. Shout out to CC, man. He just had a knee replacement.
Oh no.
So, this is dope.
And he's done a lot of good things ever since his playing career ended. I know that he's done a lot with baseball players that are currently playing. He just seems like he's turned into a really good guy, and I'm glad that
He texted me like 3 days ago, or whatever day that was, that McKenzie threw, that Tristan threw, and he was like, "Dang, Tristan throwing 98." I was like, "Yeah, dog." I said my eyes almost popped out of my head too. So
he's paying attention.
He is paying attention. He stays connected. That was the point.
Yeah, CC Sabathia I've known about since I was a kid, because I grew up he went to Hogan High School in Vallejo, California, and I grew up right next door, and it was a massive deal.
Oh yeah, CC was like a thing of legends in high school.
Oh yeah, it was a massive
I was hearing about
deal.
CC in San Diego, yeah, for sure.
And he has his own car dealership up there. It's great. CC Sabathia, I don't remember what he sells, but that's it for the Big Five, Tony. I'm just saying random things today.
You are saying random things today. It's all good though. Happy hour around the corner. What do we got in the happy hour?
Well, we could hear from I definitely wanted to play this audio from Bryce Harper, because Bryce Harper was on WIP and he kind of predicted what he thinks going to happen with this lockout. And we'll talk about the Padres game.
All right, word up. Let's do that. Bryce Harper on the other end. More Padre talk. Gwynn and Chris, happy hour.
Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. From that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, You just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back to back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, and I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well, and they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded, you know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. It feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are. The Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes,
what are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we gotta continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back to back. I mean, it's just, city of San Diego deserves it, the fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know, and this is what I do. I've done it my entire career, continue doing it, and I got faith in my boys. I know that I can ride for a team for a little bit, and I know my boys are going to come up there and pick me up when I'm down as well, and they did that this whole month. And they picked me up, and look where we're at, man. We fought, we've grinded, you know, we've gone through the gauntlet as a team, and man, it just feels so good. Feels so good.
You guys, you kind of mentioned it. Last year, you guys got to the second half and just rolled. This year, it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really grind it out. Does it make getting to this point that much more fulfilling when you had to work that hard to get there?
I wouldn't say that because it's hard. I wouldn't say that, but man, it feels good to win. It feels good to win, to be back in this spot. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but this team has fought. We fought since last year, and we're going to continue to do it.
You guys got 5 more games to go against some opponents that obviously the Brewers are where they are. The Diamondbacks still in this bad boy.
Yes,
what are you guys trying to accomplish in these last 5?
We're not stopping. We're not stopping. Keep playing good baseball. We're going to continue to do it. You know, this isn't over. We got to get hot. We got to get going now, and we've been showing clips and going, but we got guys fully going. We got guys doing the things that need to get back to, and we're gonna get rolling. And when this business isn't finished, we gotta continue to the end.
Congratulations, my friend. Manny, you were the first chip to come in here. What does it feel like getting this organization back to the playoffs and back-to-back seasons?
Man, it feels great, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, from that first meeting with AJ to meeting Ron and Peter, you just seen the growing pains of losing, falling short, making it to postseason, making it short, having an unbelievable team, and now being back here back to back. I mean, it's just City of San Diego deserves it. The fans deserve it, and this organization as well.
Man, you kind of put this team on your back through the mid portion of this season when the offense was a little bit waning. I mean, this is kind of what you do. How good does it feel to get them to this point and then have your teammates kind of pick you up there at the end?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I came here for a reason, was to win and pick up a team and ride, you know.
6 o'clock here at Peoria, 5 o'clock, a.k.a. the happy hour in San Diego. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Chris Ello. Where is Chris, by the way?
He's calling his Boise State game right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Boise State.
He's idle.
He's idle, as we like to say. Yes, indeed. Padres get back in the win column here today, taking down the Angels, they don't look like a very good team. They do have some young pieces that could be pretty good in the future. I mean, Adele had a pretty good year last year. It's 30-plus homers, 98 ribbies, I believe. They got the young kid Moore, who came out guns a-blazing. He went deep today in today's ball game. The pitcher, Clausen, Clausen, I think it was. He threw the ball very well.
Yeah, Clausen.
Pretty good arm. So, Padres back in the win column. Where were we going to go?
Well, we're going to go to Bryce Harper in a second, but talking about the Angels got my brain thinking about what Artie Moreno said. We haven't talked about that yet, have we?
No, we have not.
Yeah. So quickly, I talked about it yesterday or the day before, but quickly, Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, said that they did a survey of fans, and fans don't even really care about winning. Winning isn't even in their top 5 things. They want affordability. They want safety. Winning's not even in their top 5. And then the MLBPA came out and said, yeah, we're going to pay attention to this situation because he's basically, they didn't say this part. This is me adding. They're basically saying we're not going to spend any money on players. So what do you think about this whole Artie Moreno situation?
I don't know if you saw. Oh my gosh! Hold on, I gotta get his name. Got to get his name right.
Is it a reporter?
I can't remember. Somebody asked to see these surveys, and of course, that was we don't do that type of deal.
Yeah.
And so, Artie is entitled to make up anything he wants to about what fans think, because until we see some proof that is what the actual survey said, I'm reluctant to believe Artie.
It probably was Sam Blum of The Athletic, because he
It wasn't. I don't know if it was Sam or not, but certainly that is. I think that's hilarious. That he's trying to sell us that. The folks in Anaheim were like, yeah, we want safety at the baseball game.
Affordability.
We want affordability. Now, that's probably true. There's probably some truths in it, but I guarantee you that winning is not being in the top 5 is I have a hard time believing that.
I don't believe it at all.
I have a really hard time believing
unless you're the Rockies. That's the only team I could think about.
It was Starks. It was Starks who asked. Jason Starks asked him for reached out, asked for it. They said no can do. So
does that mean the survey doesn't exist, or is
I don't know. That's I just think that is something.
He needs to get rid of the team. They need to get this team away from him.
He was that close to selling it not that long ago.
Yeah.
It was on the market, and then he changed his mind.
He did change his mind, and it's all gone downhill since. The team is not getting better. If anything, Mike Trout, they need to trade Mike Trout and get him out of there for his own sanity, because this is going to be a terrible season for them. But can you imagine a fan saying, you know what? I don't really care about winning, but your hot dogs are cheap.
Here's the part. It says Moreno cited surveys that conducted they've conducted to provide that information, according to the Orange County Register. It's unclear what survey Moreno was referring to in his answer. It's also unclear to whom the survey was given and what the specific question was that yielded these results.
Yeah, the
Angels
context.
declined to comment when asked about the specifics of the survey.
So the question could have even said, like, besides winning, what are the top 5 things you want out of our organization?
Right, exactly. Besides winning.
Trevor says on the chat, by affordability, fans mean they want the owner to afford good players. I didn't take it that way, but
I think it's all of the encompassing, right? Affordability certainly means I don't want to pay a boatload to come watch a game.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay a boatload to eat while I'm watching the game. That's affordability, right? But it could also slant right into players, like being able to bring some players in, afford these players that are going to make your team well. So listen, I don't know. I think this is a fugazi on Artie's part.
Ken Rosenthal has been all over this. I know he's sensitive in this town. That is an absurd premise. I'm not buying the fans don't care about winning. Angels fans do not care about winning. Angels fans, I'm quite sure, would love to win, and they have won before. So
yes.
Anyway,
let's talk Bryce Harper.
Okay,
because Bryce had an interesting thing to say about this upcoming, or not this upcoming season, the following 2027 season.
I feel like Bryce Harper might be the most negative person about all of this stuff. He seems very steadfast, and this is not going to get there. He was on with WIP the other day, and here's his interview.
Gut feeling. Will opening day in 2027 happen on time? Gut feeling.
No.
Second question, gut feeling. Will there be a 2027 Major League Baseball season?
Yes. I think for me personally, we want what's best for the game. I think I want what's best. Me personally, I want what's best for the game for owners and players as well. And our game is at the peak of where we're at right now with so much talent. It's an international game right now, obviously, with the players that we have. And I don't think we want to lose that. I don't think owners want to lose that. But we're at such a standstill right now with where we are, that it's going to be tough to, figure things out in a 3-month span. If you can't figure it out, in a 3-year span, how are you going to figure it out in a 3-month span? Yeah. So I hope we figure it out. I don't want it to go slow. I don't want it to, be bad on both sides or anything else like that. But these guys are attorneys for a reason, and they've gone through all this stuff. I mean, Manfred's gone through it. Bruce Meyer's gone through it. I mean, it's a tough situation for both sides, and Manfred's going to do what's best for the owners, but also I think he wants to do better. What's right to the players as well, to a certain extent. And I think obviously Bruce Meyer is pro player, so I think both sides just really need to calm it down.
I was curious, or that was interesting that you said Rob Manfred is looking for the best for the players, because I know there was a whole incident in the locker
did he
room.
say players, or you say he was looking what's best for the owners?
He did. Let me go back to see. I'll have to read it so we don't have to play it all over again.
A couple thoughts. Myers taking over the union is going to be problematic for the owners.
Oh,
because he's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a lawyer, and in ways that maybe, and listen, he's the one who's doing all the negotiation anyway. But it doesn't mean that Tony didn't have some sway among the people in there. But I just think that this is probably what the owners didn't want. They probably would have rather have had it from with how they think of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think that Bryce is just being honest.
He said Manfred wants to do what's right for the players, or what's right to the players. So
yeah, well, I don't know that that's accurate.
He
works for the owners. He works for the owners. So ultimately, but I do think there is something to the fact that he said he's done after this deal is up. Like, he doesn't want to be the commissioner any longer.
Yep.
legacy for folks like him starts to matter. Does he want to walk out when and be remembered as the commissioner that was in when they had to miss game? Bob Selig was that way, but he had time in between when that happened in 94 and when he retired to kind of rebuild his legacy a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that matters in this too. I think Bryce is right. A lot of money being made.
I heard sorry.
There's just gonna have to be some outside of the box thinking, that some ideas that we haven't necessarily heard yet. Because the cap thing, I think I just don't see it happening.
That seems like it's going to be very difficult to implement, and it seems it's going to be very difficult to agree on the terms for it.
Yep, I agree.
I heard that
agree.
the Padres had a visit from a union member yesterday, and they spent like 2 hours talking about things. I think Jake Cronenworth is the union rep for the Padres.
He's not the union rep.
Oh, but he's
Jake is on the big dog board.
Oh, he's even bigger.
I think that, first of all, that meeting happens every year.
Okay.
Players union comes in. It happens there. It's not always 2 hours. I'm sure that the 2 hours has a lot to do with the fact that they got some serious stuff coming up here that they got to take care of. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So, yeah, man, I don't read too much into that.
How much do you think this? Because I don't remember the last time they went through this. Does this talk kind of stop during the season, or does it continue?
No, so the talks in terms of the sides, owners and players, they're not talking right now. They'll talk probably somewhere in my guess is May, June area. Some conversations will start to they'll start to have some meetings where representatives from both sides are meeting. But Bryce is right, man. And listen, Bryce is right and he's wrong. I don't know that there's any urgency to get something done prior to these deadlines. I mean, it doesn't work that way. Like, very rare. I think one year one of the times when I was playing, we didn't get to this point. They came to an agreement before any of that. But that doesn't happen very often.
No, doesn't seem like it happens ever. But I guess it did.
Yeah. So there's that. All right, let's get to break. Scrappy, we got on the other side.
Oh,
I haven't looked at the rundown.
It's okay. It's kind of a weird day anyway with Chris out, you in. I need to talk to you about what happened with Luka and LeBron last night, because Chris was, convinced that there's something going on between Luka and LeBron. Is Chris me now? Because all of a sudden he's become like the
I feel like every time I'm not here, Chris is like that.
He gets weird. He gets weird. So we'll talk about that when we get back on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855.
So last night the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lucida.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
That's who she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
I think it does equal that scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori,
because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Scrape. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that
you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And she's like looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little...
That's stressful.
Well, it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already like called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for... okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lucida.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport, because again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college kids, huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to my head, like, well, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
I think it does equal that, Scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I would have forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having
the ball, the way that my pitches move, where my head is at when I'm at release. I'm in no position to usually say if that's a ball or strike unless it's like middle, but then the catcher's going to kind of help me out with that. So I won't find myself tapping my head at all. I just don't think I'm in the position. I'm sure somebody will eventually because they just will. They're confident, whoever that person is. But yeah, no, I won't challenge. I think he threw me on the bus there, but I will not be challenging.
That's Nick Pivetta talking with Ben Woods this morning on 97.3 The Fan.
Who threw him under the bus?
I'm not sure who threw him under the bus. But I love this strategy talk for ABS. I think it's hilarious. I think we're all probably overthinking it, but I don't know.
You're not though. Like you're not going to give up an early challenge.
True.
You're going to want at least one.
Yes.
And so I think I think that there's a reason why everybody's thinking, because someone is going to come up with like something clever and how to deal with it.
That is true.
They always do. I get just baseball players are maniacs. Like,
they have a lot of time too.
They do. There's someone on every team that is constantly just watching.
Oh yeah.
Just looking for things. Right now that's how they get the tipping stuff. Someone is always dedicated to doing just that.
Now I have a question because there was a malfunction yesterday with the ABS system somewhere. I don't remember which game.
Oh yeah, where it was just stuck on the screen.
So what happens?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Have to turn the whole board off.
You have to do a hard reset on everything. Just everybody hold up. We're rebooting. We're gonna make sure it's okay. But there's gonna be it's gonna be fun this year, I think. But that was Nick Pivetta. Go to 973thefantasy.com to hear more of those interviews. Also, you can go to Ben and Woods as well. The Padres beat the Angels today. We talked about that. Michael King debuted, spring debut, was looking great. 2 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts. Anything else from this game, Tony, that stuck out to you? Because we weren't able to really watch it today.
You could have watched it on MLB Network.
Well, you're right. Next time I will check the MLB Network.
You could have did that. We've been like the featured
I know you
game on like MLB. True. What was I doing? I was pulling up my scorecard. You wanted to know if there were
if there's anything else that stood out to you.
Nope, not really.
It's just another.
Not really.
Not
really.
All right.
There was nothing extraordinary. I mean, Kyle Hart had a good outing.
That's right.
He won an inning. Adcock, he also won an inning. Alec Jacob had 3 punchies in his inning and a third. So I mean, there's some of the low lights. I just in terms of competitions, for roster spots, there really wasn't a whole lot there today. Tell you what, Romeo Sanabria, dude, all he does is hit. He just comes in and he hits.
And he has an amazing name.
He does.
Romeo Sanabria.
Sanabria. I give it to you.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that there wasn't really much to really hit on today.
All right. Well, then let's move on to Chris and what he brought up earlier. And that would be the Lakers and Luka and LeBron. Luka had a wide open 3 last night.
Yep.
To potentially win the game. He was about 3 feet behind the 3-point line. He pump faked and then he brought it down and then he tried to shoot again, but then he was covered. And so then he threw it to LeBron. LeBron was covered. LeBron shot it, falling out of bounds, and they lost because he missed the shot. Now, after the game, LeBron was interviewed and he said, I don't know why he paraphrasing. I don't know why he passed it to me. You should go ask him. And a lot of Lakers fans are saying, why is LeBron throwing Luka under the bus? There's some weird, like, I hate to use the term civil war because it's not that big of a deal, but between the Lakers fans hating and loving LeBron, I'm seeing more Lakers fans saying that LeBron needs to go, which is wild to me. Wild.
I mean, I think Laker fans are just maniacs too, honestly.
They're just, everybody is a maniac.
They're just ridiculous. I mean, they're entitled to opinion. Maybe they're ready for the LeBron thing to end. If they win the title this year, they won't be saying that.
No, of course not.
This is a whole lot to do about that. I watched the game. I watched Luka not take a shot he should have taken. It put LeBron in a crazy position to have to shoot it. And LeBron's right. They should have been asking, and they should have been asking Luka why he passed it to him. Luka said it was on him. He froze. He didn't shoot the shot he should have shot. This is a whole lot to do about nothing. Laker fans just want to be mad at LeBron, really.
I think Chris also wants to
not
hate
this
the
Laker fan.
Lakers.
Well, I think he already tells on himself about his own algorithm. That algorithm didn't just happen on its own. It's kind of catered to the things that you kind of click on that you like.
That's what I've told him.
So you're probably clicking on a lot of, or liking at least some, or at least watching the video of some of this LeBron hate that you say just somehow miraculously finds up on your phone.
You know what, Tony? I don't see any of these LeBron videos in my algorithm
That's what I said.
At all. Like, he goes, I just was scrolling through the other day and it was just flop after flop after flop. I'm like, Chris, you do this to yourself. And your phone's probably listening to you too. And you're cursing about LeBron in your spare time. It's going to show you LeBron flops. That's just what happens. Trevor actually has a question for you today about the game. I know we're bouncing around a little bit. Bowen's lodged ball.
Yes. What about
it? He just wants to know about it. He said that Bowen looks promising.
Yeah, Bowen looks promising in a kind of a loaded outfield. In terms of the ball, that happens. That rule was changed. Maybe Skip Schumacher's last year with us. I can't remember. Might have been, was that 19, 20?
Because this happened in the World Series, right?
Right. But it's a rule that it used to be that wouldn't be a ball lodged. You had to kind of go get it. But now, because of the rule, once it's lodged and you put your hands up, whether you attempt to get it or not, it's a dead ball. Now, you notice the umpire ran all the way out, or you probably didn't see it. So, the play finished. My man puts his hands up. Bowen flies around the bases. The play finishes. And only once it was finished did the umpire run out to the outfield to check to see if the ball was indeed lodged. And he determined it was. They sent Bowen back to second base.
So he ran all the way out there just to check to see if the ball was lodged.
He had to prove, because they operated as though the ball was in play.
Okay.
And so he had to then go out there to find out if indeed it was.
Is that the safe way to play it? Is like just keep going around the bases? It's like continuing a play in football without
100%.
Yeah,
because they may deem it not being lodged and that he could have got it out.
Yeah, because I think in the World Series it was lodged under the fence. I can't remember what point of the game was it.
Yeah, it was a little baggy. I think it might have been a Game 7.
Yeah, I think so too. But I didn't know that rule changed either. All right. Thank you, Trevor, for Jace Bowen. When we get back, Chris put together a list of a bunch of different players and where they're playing now in Major League Baseball. We go through the AL and the NL. And so you'll hear that on the other side. Also, we have the biggest fan to announce as well. So keep with us here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love San Diego, and this isn't just a sleepy tourist
7:33 there in San Diego, wrapping up Gwynn and Chris. Chronicles follow.
Yes.
They're coming up next. Let's get to it. Today's biggest fan, Clayton Harris. Clayton Harris of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padre game with all of the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiros Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Yeah, let's get to some traffic, and then we're going to hear from Mr. Ello once again.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Had a fatal accident involving a pedestrian in the Camp Pendleton area, southbound 5 near the checkpoints. Got the left lane blocked, so watch out for some activity there. Also, northbound 5 before Del Mar Heights Road reports of a stalled car partially in the fast lane. Collision on eastbound 56 at Carmel Country Road. Looks like that is in the clearing stage. We've also got a collision reported on northbound 15 before Carmel Mountain Road. Not showing if lanes are blocked. Southbound side of the 125 near Hamashaw. There is a collision involving a motorcycle. That's in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Nice Wednesday get-together today. We have hit the middle of the week. And, of course, Padres spring training action today. And Tony Gwynn Jr. in Peoria. Chris Ello in Boise, Idaho. Scraby, the only one with nowhere to go. We've kept him at home in the Bill House Studios in San Diego, where we know how. I'll be back, by the way, tomorrow, Scraby.
Yes.
If you miss me, I'll be right back there.
It is kind of lonely in studio by myself.
I would think it's a little different, when we're all gone. But
yeah.
I was actually even telling somebody about this today at breakfast. The amazing, we take this all for granted now, but the amazing ability of the StreamYard combined with a tie line, combined with a hotspot, combined with the microphone and what JR gives me, and JR's our engineer, and what he gives Tony to take to Peoria. Honestly, I think, for the people who listen to the show and watch the show on YouTube, there's not a whole lot different when we're not all together. And that is great. I'm so happy that it works out that way.
I started in radio in like 2016, so I was well into the technology age of radio. And even in the short time I've been in radio, it's gotten even better. Like you can just do it on your phone now.
Right, but let's not try to teach me how to do that.
No.
Because I'm just now learned how to do this.
I'll tell everyone that Chris shot himself earlier today because the machine wasn't working, and he went and checked all the cords on his own, and bada bing, bada boom, got it started up.
I will never be JR the engineer, but I'm getting better and better. All right, so let's do a little baseball. In this segment, Scraby. I like to do this. We're getting into spring training now. We're a week or so in, and we got a lot of old faces and new places around baseball. And I know we've touched on this a little in the NL West, tried to keep you up to date with the Padres and the teams that compete with them. But just a little reminder, who has come and joined all of these teams around baseball. And is there any baseball music that we have, or
you know what? That's a job for me to get done for this next season.
Well, this is very simple. I'll just do it instead. You don't need to do it. Ready?
Okay.
Ba-ba!
I see what's happening here.
Ba-ba! Yeah, come on.
See, I wish I could use the natural music, but I can't. So we're just going to have to do this.
That's copyrighted?
Oh, yeah. YouTube would be really mad at us.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some new music. That's my job.
Little baseball music, because we do like to have some we have great football music, and we have good basketball music. We need good baseball music. All right, let's start with the team that knocked the Padres out of it last year, the Chicago Cubs. And look, they've got two big ads this year. One is Alex Bregman at third base. Look, Buster Olney said that Alex Bregman, he rated him ahead of Manny Machado. I'm going to need to see Bregman more. I know he's always been in the American League. Don't feel like I've watched him enough. I always feel personally like he's a little overrated. So I'll be interested to see just how good he is now that I get a closer look at Bregman.
Yeah.
I've never thought of him as being better than Manny Machado, but maybe he is. Maybe he is. We'll see. He's there. That sends Matt Shaw to the bench. And the other big addition is Edward Cabrera, who's been really good for the Miami Marlins in the starting rotation, and now joins a rotation with Imanaga, Boyd, Cade Horton, Tyon, and if he gets healthy, Justin Steele. I think the Cubs might have the best six-man rotation in the National League on paper. So that's something to keep an eye on. I'm not a fan of it either. Cincinnati Reds, who were in the playoffs last year. How do you like that? Reds?
I like the Reds.
You do. They won 83 games, which isn't, incredible. But Terry Francona was back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The guy has a bit of a touch there. You got to give it to him. And Eugenio Suarez. That's the big ad for the Cincinnati Reds. The rest of it looks similar. I do love the fact that our old friend Emilio Pagan is still closing for the Reds, and Pierce Johnson has joined that bullpen as well. So they can go back and enjoy the lullabies of good old days from San Diego together.
I don't know that Emilio Pagan had great days in San Diego.
He may not have had a good time on the mound, but he had a damn good time coming on our show.
Oh, yeah,
he was
Pagan
one of the
power.
nicest guys. We loved Emilio.
He came on in the midst of a terrible stretch, and he took all accountability, was like, I stink.
Right. He was the one that was giving up the games, and he still came on the show.
Yeah.
I've always respected Emilio for that.
Me too.
The Milwaukee Brewers, I don't see, look, the Brewers are a team that I look at, and I'm never that impressed with the names. But then they had the best record in baseball last year.
Yes,
they were better than the Dodgers. Don't forget, the Brewers had more wins than the Dodgers. Look at you got Joey Ortiz as your shortstop. Who is that? You got Garrett Mitchell in center field. Okay, but he's not an all-star of any kind.
South Frelick's pretty good.
Oh, no, I'm saying they have some good players, but they don't have like the all-star type lineup that a lot of these teams do. The only really addition to the Brewers this year is Luis Rengifo, who has always been kind of a mop-up infielder for the Angels. He's going to play some third base. Kyle Harrison, the old Giant prospect, is now one of their starting pitchers if he makes the rotation. Other than that, Brandon Lockridge looked pretty good against us this week. And he's a Brewer, but the Brewers just don't do it for me on paper. But they do have Pat Murphy, who's back-to-back manager of the year. Pittsburgh Pirates, they're trying, at least for the first time in recent memory, and adding some names to this. But more than anything, and Ryan O'Hearn, of course, my old best buddy.
Yeah.
Did we ever end up getting him on the show? I don't think
we did.
he ever joined.
We did.
Him. Oh,
we did. He was very nice.
Yeah. Ryan O'Hearn is there. He'll probably be first base or, could be in left field. They're not quite sure. And Marcelo Zuna, who's, I know the Padres toyed with the idea, and I'm glad we didn't go there. But the real highlight for the Pirates is these young guys. And Skeens is now joined by Bubba Chandler and Connor Griffin, who made his first big splash yesterday with a couple of home runs.
My goodness, was he the talk of baseball yesterday? Everywhere I went, it was Connor Griffin.
This guy is the greatest prospect ever, and that's saying something.
And he did hit 2 monster home runs to kind of back it up yesterday. One off of Ranger Suarez.
Yep, that helped. St. Louis Cardinals, they are headed in the other direction, people. I've always thought the Cardinals were a contender in the NL Central. It would now be a shock if they contended. The only real addition to this team is Dustin May, the flowing orange hair Dodger pitcher.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a bunch of young guys that have, other than Mason Wynn, really just haven't lived up to it for the Cardinals. They were almost last year. They may make it to last this year. Let's go to the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves added Mike Yastrzemski, and I think he's going to be a really good player for them in Atlanta. Poor Yastrzemski's always had to hit in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Just the hardest park to hit in.
And he's not built for it.
Yeah, he's not. He's still homered over that darn wall quite often, but not enough. I think he's going to be a good fit there. Looks like Profar is going to move to DH for most of the time.
Interesting.
Which I don't know is fair to Jerkson because he's always played a pretty good outfield when they've let him play it.
Yeah.
Acuna's supposedly back and healthy. That's the big news for Atlanta. And they add our guy, Robert Suarez, to the bullpen. And how long before he actually takes over as the closer is a question there in Atlanta. The Miami Marlins. Here's a surprise. Did you know the Miami Marlins finished ahead of the Atlanta Braves in the standings last year? You have to do a double take when you hear that.
Yes, you do.
But it did happen. The Miami Marlins add their new closer, Peter Fairbanks, who is Tony Gwynn likes him.
I do too.
And yeah, he's a funny guy. Christopher Morel, corner infielder, plays some first base. Jacob Marcy, hate to say, but keep an eye on this guy. He really exploded, the former Padre farmhand last year. And they added Owen Casey, who was the big touted Cub prospect last year. Probably going to start this year. Came over in the trade from Edward Cabrera. The New York Mets, whole new look. Polanco, Semien, Bichette, Luis Robert, Freddie Peralta, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver. I guess the Mets didn't like missing the playoffs last year. I will say this. It sounds good on paper, but it's hard to bring that many new guys together in 1 year.
Yeah.
It really is. The good news for the Mets is they've got, one of the great leadership players of all time, a guy who really cares about everybody other than himself and Juan Soto. So
there
that
it
should
is.
help.
There's the shot.
There's the Juan Soto shot, zinger of the day. Philadelphia Phillies keeping it pretty similar this year. Adolis Garcia takes the spot of Nick Castellanos in right field. Other than that, not going to notice much. They added the closer, Duran from Minnesota, right at the end of last year. So they're going to get a full year of him. And Zach Wheeler batting back from injury, but probably going to be back sooner rather than later. Ranger Suarez is gone, but they do have a young right-hander. They're high on Andrew Painter to take that spot. The Washington Nationals, where all of the former young Padres go to lose a bunch of games. C.J. Abrams is a really good young player. James Wood was fantastic last year. Robert Hassel even finally started to make a little bit of an impact. The bottom line is it's still the Nationals. They don't win anything. So, you got all those players. When's it going to, turn into something? Miles Michaelis. Remember that guy?
I do.
Journeyman. He has journeyed his way over to Washington this year to take part of that pitching staff. We're going to skip the NL West because we always do the NL West.
Yeah.
And I think we're all pretty familiar with those teams. So let's run down baseball in the American League real quick. Chicago White Sox. Derek Hill is a backup outfielder that they picked up from the Marlins. But their big signing is Murakami, a Japanese slugger that's going to play first base. The rest of these are young. Sir Anthony Dominguez is their new closer. Remember, they went from 40 to 60 wins last year.
Yep.
So that was a big jump. We'll see if they can make another jump. Cleveland Guardians. I still want to call them the Indians, even after all of these years.
The Guardians' name just doesn't stick.
It doesn't work for me. Stephen Kwan is probably going to go to center field this year from left. They're going to move their outfield around a little bit. And obviously, they need a new closer because Emmanuel Clase is no longer an option.
That's true.
Kate Smith is going to move into that role. Otherwise, pretty similar for the Tribe. Detroit Tigers had a really good year last year before fading down the stretch. Framber Valdez is the big add there to join Skubal and Verlander in the rotation. Kenley Jansen will be saving for the Tigers this year. Kansas City Royals, there's not much in the way of big additions, but I just love their pitching staff. Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, Matt Strahm. Who else? There was a couple more. Anyway, they have all of the former Padres over there. Kolek and Berger.
Yep.
So they have 5 former Padres on that staff in Kansas City. But the lineup's pretty similar. Minnesota Twins. I think we just turned the page on the Twins. There's just not much to recommend on the Twins this year. The one thing they had was Pablo Lopez, their ace, and he's gone for the year. Baltimore Orioles. Of course, Pete Alonso. I mean, that's the big signing there. Yeah, that's a big one for the O's. They're trying to come off a last place finish last year and turn things around. They also added Taylor Ward from the Angels to play left field. Boston Red Sox, Chad Durbin is at third base replacing Alex Bregman. That doesn't sound like an even swap, to be honest with you.
Not at all.
But they did get Ranger Suarez in the rotation along with Garrett Crochet. Sonny Gray also in Boston now. Red Sox were in the playoffs last year, kind of quietly. They were dismissed by the Yankees, and the Yankees, are they really going to go with Ryan McMahon at third base? Remember they traded for him at the end of last year?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jazz plays there.
Yeah, it's a weird club. They got a bunch of, they re-signed Bellinger. That was kind of the big move. They're hoping that Garrett Cole will be healthy this year, and Carlos Rodon. David Bednar is the new closer for the Yankees, and that'll last until he blows the first save. And then, all hell will break loose in New York. Tampa Bay Rays, Gavin Lux has worked his way from the Dodgers to total obscurity now down in Tampa Bay.
I was going to say, where is he? But he's
That's
in Tampa
where he
Bay.
is. If you're really looking for him, you can find him there. Toronto Blue Jays, defending American League champions, Dylan Cease, right? I mean, he adds to the starting rotation. It's a pretty good rotation with Gosman, the young guy, Savage, who pitched well in the playoffs last year. Toronto still pretty similar lineup. We got to hustle a little. Sorry. Houston Astros. I don't know if the Astros are slipping just a little bit. Some of their big name guys have finally, they just can't keep everybody there. The one big name that's left really is Yordan Alvarez. Correa's back there playing third base.
He is, yeah.
Don't keep your shirt off. Altuve is still the second baseman. I mean, Altuve's been there since the Eisenhower administration.
He's been there forever.
Yeah. So we'll see if the Astros, they were close, but they just missed the playoffs last year. The Angels, nobody seems to know where they're going. I actually saw a clip yesterday of the Colorado Rockies broadcasters during a spring training game making fun of the Angels.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
about
when
as
you
low as
know
it
you're
can get.
low. Yes.
Yeah. If the Rockies broadcasters are making fun of your organization, something is amiss. One thing that we do know, Mike Trout wants to go back to center field this year. We'll see how that works out for him. Oakland Athletics, Las Vegas Athletics, Sacramento Athletics, pretty
Philadelphia
similar team.
Athletics.
Yeah, Philadelphia Athletics, Kansas City Athletics before that, or no, in between. Don't forget the Kansas City A's. The only thing I find fun with the A's is that their third baseman is Max Muncy. The odds of the same name player playing the same position for two major league teams and not being related is just crazy to me.
It is crazy to me as well.
It would be one thing if it was like Stephen Jones, but it's not. It's Max Muncy, same name.
That is weird.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
Let's run by the Mariners, who just missed going to the World Series last year. They're going to pretty much run it back, although they added Brendan Donovan, really good hitter from the Cardinals. I think that's going to be a big add for them. Texas Rangers. Whatever happened to our guy Higashioka? Remember him? We loved him. We thought we'd never be able to do it without him. He's still there, starting catcher. And another one of our old friends, Mackenzie Gore, has landed in Texas.
I think he's going to have a good year.
That was a lot of information. That was a lot of information. I hope you're able to take it all in. But I do think it's fun. I do think it's fun to kind of remind ourselves where everybody went during the offseason.
It's actually a good fancy baseball reminder as well about the players out there and things like that.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was Chris's entire life right there for the last couple of days, going through and making the spreadsheets. That is it for this show. We are going to have a Scraby show, so you can stick around. I will be right back with you at 6 p.m. But happy hour, which is the 5 p.m. hour here on the show, is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. When we go to the Scraby show, we're going to be talking about the batting order, because today we saw Bogey, Manny, Jackson, and Fernando, top four. we've basically seen that same top four, but Machado and Merrill flipped. So I'm going to go through and see where in Manny's career he's hit the best. Also, I'm going to see where Fernando hits the best, because Fernando is seemingly going to stick in that cleanup spot. And I understand if he is in the cleanup spot, he may miss out on like 40 or 50 at bats throughout an entire season. But I think if he hit some home runs with guys on bases, it's all going to even out. Guys on bases, guys on base is what I meant to say. It's all going to even out. So we're going to go through some of the stats in that. Also, there's some bold goals that MLB.com put together for players in 2026. And I've told everyone about this, but Kalshi, insider trading, they've been caught. And I'll talk about that when the Scraby Show begins. So stick with me. We still got another hour to go on 97.3 The Fan.